and in a new location, as it seems like we always are somewhere new. Episode number 14 here at the Spot Podcast, live with Tommy Pop Prospero. Tommy. He's here from Florida right now from just the week you were here, right?
Yeah.
We flew him up just to do the podcast.
Yeah.
We're flying him back out tomorrow.
They
so.
gave me a hotel and everything, too.
Yeah, because, his parents didn't want him in the house at all, so we're just like, fine, I guess we'll put you in a hotel.
I didn't even know they knew about it.
Yeah.
I thought we just kind of called him up.
But yeah, no, Tommy's a close friend of ours. We've known him for quite a few years. I actually remember, well, you and me actually, I don't know if you remember this, we both played on the Rockies in T-ball. So
I do not remember that.
Dude, I remember.
I remember playing on the team, but I didn't remember you being on the team.
I didn't even remember you being on the team until I had looked back at old photos. I'm like, holy shit, Tommy and I were on the same team.
Dude, I played on the Devil Rays. You know who my coach was?
No.
Todd Bender.
Oh, you know
was it really?
Todd Bender.
No shit.
Mine was we had Ron Filbert, I think, was our head guy.
I don't even know. Dude.
No, it wasn't. That's
that's
not true. It was McComb. No, was it McComb? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was McComb.
It might have been McComb.
It was Dan McComb. Yeah.
That sounds right.
I think it was. No,
right.
Filbert I had the next year in Prep League back when it was called Prep League, and they did the machine.
Prep
See, I
League.
didn't do prep.
No.
Just went to minor.
No, I didn't even. I just took a year off. I mean, it's weird to say I was like 7 taking a year off.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't play.
No, that
I
is
didn't play prep.
That's crazy.
Because then I remember, obviously, then you played on the Mets.
The Mets,
in
yeah.
minor, and I was on the Braves.
Dude, funny story. First year in Mets. We had 2 kids on the team. Their name were Quinique or something, and then there was Paris. Those were the 2 kids.
Mm.
And Sam Moog was our coach. Okay,
Yep.
and like you know how he's like he does something with like defensive. He works for the state.
Oh,
or
yeah,
some
yeah.
type of like criminal defense or whatever. So it was actually a couple years ago. He actually had them.
Oh, no
like
shit.
he saw their paperwork and it was the same kids. Yeah, pretty
Wow.
wild, right?
How it all comes back around like
Yeah, I
that.
know. Like
That's
whatever
crazy.
it was, 15 years later.
Yeah. No, I remember that, dude. That was like the start of like me loving baseball, though, because all the way up until my junior league year on the Pirates, when we were god awful, when one game lost 20.
Was that when Filbert was your coach?
Yeah, that was a shit show that year. That was an absolute shit show. But up until then, never had been on a losing baseball team.
Because you were in the Braves.
Braves,
Yeah,
we
you were in
went to the
Braves.
championship my first year. And we lost to the Blue Jays, which like everybody lost.
Everybody,
to the Blue
I
Jays.
don't understand how. It was
Ange
always-
Polito, dude. Ange Polito.
Well, but the year I played against them, like that first year, they had Adam Pratt. They still had Maxwell was pretty good. Nick Maxwell. They had Pallone was actually pretty good.
He used to
Trevor.
play shortstop.
Yeah, who the hell else did they have? They had like a lot of good players though.
But they had Blake.
Blake, yeah, Blake
was really good, dude.
Blake was
Really good.
really good back then. Yeah.
And they had somebody else. Who they have? Did they have a Sherman
Did they have
kid?
Steve Dorff?
They did have Steve Dorff.
They had
Yeah,
Steve Dorff.
they
Who
did.
he
Their
threw
team
gas
was
back then,
loaded.
dude.
Yeah,
Their
he
team
Back in the
I
little
forgot
league
that he
days, the
played,
minor league
man.
days. Yeah, dude.
Shit.
That team was loaded.
He was
Doesn't
on the
he
Blue
live
Jays
by
in Little
you?
League, too. Yeah. I don't know if he still lives there though. I
Ange
know his
Wolf
parents
maybe
do.
too, or no? It might
I
be
don't
reaching
know.
on
I
that
think
one.
that might have been Little League.
Yeah, that was Little League. He was okay because they. Yeah.
But anyway, that team was loaded, and then the next year we lost to you guys
We
in
lost
the
to us,
national
and then
championship
we lost
game.
to the Blue Jays. Yeah.
And you guys lost to the Jays. The Jays always won it. They were always
They
good.
won it every year.
They were so good for like the longest time.
And then you guys went to the Yankees.
Well, no, then actually my first year in Little League, I was on then it was the Indians. And the Indians I had on that team was Jared Baker, Eric Harrower. And we went to the American League Championship game. We lost to the A's, who had R.J. Marchese,
Oh,
Kurt Buenger.
Yeah.
And that team was loaded. And we barely lost to them, actually, in the championship because R.J. pitched. And we hit him pretty well. And then Kurt came in and just shut it down, as
Kurt
he
was
always
good.
did.
Yeah, it was good.
And then, so we lost to them. Then it was the Yankees. And who did we lose to in that? Oh, White Sox. Adam Pratt. He won that year. They won it that year.
They won it that year?
Yeah, they won
Our
it
first
that
year, or
Yeah.
Or
I think it was
my
your
first year.
Your
My
first
first
year,
year.
our second
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
Because they had Adam and...
and then you know what happened the third year?
The third year, the Cardinals took it.
The
away.
third year, Tommy Prospero hit a ball off me that still hasn't landed.
He also
Ball is
threw a
still
no-hitter.
going.
He also threw a no-hitter.
He
And I was
did.
pissed at one point, not even because I was on third base, and I can't remember the kid's like full name, but I know his nickname was Malibu. Don't ask me why. That was just
Yeah.
Oh, it was like
Yeah.
Chris.
Chris,
I can't remember his name, but you remember the
short kid.
nickname?
Yeah.
He was a really short kid.
Yeah.
And no, what was it? I wasn't on third. I was batting, and my dad had me throw down a bunt. I got it down, but he didn't send him at all. Like, so I was, I'm thinking, all right, we're gonna at least try a squeeze. We got to do something here.
He didn't do anything.
No, the kid just didn't go. My dad goes, I told him to go. The kid just didn't go because like the
I
ball was
remember
thrown
that.
to first, and like I got it on the right side. Like it's the perfect place where it's like if it's gonna happen, like this is where the ball's got to be. Kid just didn't go, and I just remembered that moment being just like mad, being like, why the. Like I just gave myself up for absolutely nothing.
But it's crazy how many different kids we played ball with over the years, and like how that led to friendships. Like I see Matt Clore at the gym all the time, and I'm not friends with Matt. Like we say, hey, what's up? We'll talk. But like I met him from baseball that year. Yeah, he was our center fielder. I met Tommy through baseball.
Jake
I met you.
Soja.
I played baseball with you, but like I met you at St. Joe's. But
Remember, we had
Jake
Soja
Soja.
on that team. Yeah.
Liz Johnsrow hit that ball so far.
Oh my God! Yeah, our second. Liz was good,
Dude,
though.
she was a baller.
I played with her.
Good was Nicole Hart.
She was good too. Yeah, I played with Liz though on the Braves. My first year, first and second year, she was good. That team was really good.
She was on the team in minor league.
Yeah, dude, she was an all-star. My first
Yeah,
year.
my
She
dad-
was good then.
Oh, no.
Like she was really good. We had her.
She's a good athlete.
We had Brendan Wormley. We had
Brendan Wormley.
Brendan Brown. Who else did we have? We
On
had
the Braves.
Yeah,
Did you have Jalen?
we had Jalen
Yeah,
and
you
Cody
had Jalen.
Swimline.
Yeah.
And
Swim.
dude, our pitching staff the second year, because you pitch max 3 innings. It was
Yeah.
always Jalen first 3, Cody the next 3.
Yeah.
And if Jalen struggled, I would come in. And that was always the 3.
In minor league, it was me and Bay Moog. It
And
was
Bay,
me
yeah,
the first
dude,
three,
Bay
Bay
was
Moog.
a
Shout
really
out
good
Bay
base.
Moog.
Yeah, Bay used to be a really good
You know
baseball
what he's
player.
doing now?
Is
Yeah,
he
he's
like
in
Secret Service?
He's
How
in
crazy.
Washington.
That's
Yeah.
awesome,
Good
man.
for him.
That is so awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He used to catch. I remember he used to catch.
Yeah, that was always his position.
Yeah.
He was always a catcher.
Loved it.
You were a pitcher. Hey, I'm gonna have this on the record. All right, I was the kid. I made Tommy cry. All right, I want it to be known I made
You
Tommy.
made me cry. When was that?
At national championship game, I let off. I hadn't hit the kid. First of all, nobody hit Tommy then. I never hit Tommy that whole year. Didn't think I was gonna hit him. He happens to leave one over the middle. I hit it down the line on the right field. I get a double. He starts crying.
No way,
Your
really?
dad came out and started talking. I was dying. It was just so funny because now I look at it and I was like, yeah, no, Tommy was always a good athlete.
I was a catcher in minor league,
You
and
did?
that was my spot,
Yeah, he
dude.
was,
and
he
then I
was.
went up and
Third base though too. You played, if I remember, at least in the All Star. I think we had,
yeah,
like, the
maybe an
national-
all-star, yeah. But and then Mr. Ryan put me
remember
over
that
at
first,
first
second
base in
year.
Little League,
Yeah,
and then that's when I started pitching too.
Yeah.
That was when I was in Little League.
but yeah, I just wanted to be known. I made Tommy cry once. All right,
It's tough. I don't remember.
because
that.
he got me out way more times than I got on.
Got everybody out way more than they got
me
out.
out way more than I ever got on.
It helped that I was like 10 inches taller than everybody else that was that age.
Well, yeah, I mean, definitely
like
in
five.
Little
Yeah,
League
but
too.
dude, you were
Little
always
League,
good,
you were-
like-
yeah,
I mean, we grew up with a lot of good ball players, but like, dude, you made some stupid plays. Like, dude, I'll never forget. It was the same weekend. These 2 plays always stick out in my mind when I think about you. We're playing the Canadians. We were 15.
Okay.
The first
I know what
one,
you're talking about.
the first one was that 6-inning perfect game I had.
Yeah.
I was telling him this story a few weeks ago.
Throwing a perfect game.
So I'm throwing a perfect game against these Canadians that would come down and play us. And they had to leave early, so they told us, right before the 6th inning, they're like, hey, last inning, we're not going to play the 7th. And I'm like, oh, whatever, what the fuck. So I get the first 2 kids out. Next kid comes up. I don't remember what the count was. I think I threw him a fastball, like low and out, and he just hit like a little dribble, like a high dribbler. And it like went just above my head, and I jumped and I couldn't get it, and I just fell to the ground. I was so mad because I was like, really? And I just like look over behind me to just see the ball go into center field. And Tommy P comes out of nowhere, scoops it up, throws the guy out. And we're all just like, what the fuck?
I think I actually tripped over you. If I remember.
I don't. You might have actually. I
think
don't remember that.
I threw it, and then because it was like, it literally was like a little bleeder.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything. It went right over your glove, and it almost just like sat on the ground. Because I remember that.
I think you might have even barehanded it
I think I did.
I think you might have.
I handed it through it, and I think I fell over you.
to save the 6-inning perfect
Yeah,
game
yeah.
asterisk. And then the second one was the next day. Dave Sherline knew I couldn't pitch or play anywhere else because my arm was hurting, so he stuck me at catcher, which isn't exactly the best spot.
no.
And it was the bottom of the first inning. There were 2 outs. Some kid hit a blooper in the like left center field, and Tommy just takes off running, dude. And he makes a Willie Mays catch sliding like this. and me and Dave Sherline just look over at each other, and he just shakes his head at me, and I shake his head at him, and we just walk in the dugout. We're like, really, dude? Like, really? This is what's going on right
We
now.
used to have some squads though back in the day.
Dude, it's
Dave Sherman.
the best,
Did you ever-
man.
Did you ever have Dave coach you?
He coached us for one game in junior league because Ron Filbert got kicked out the game before, ejected, so he couldn't coach the next game. So Dave did it. The best part is when he got ejected, Dave just goes, "You had to do what you had to do, man." And then he went and coached us. It was so fucking funny.
I had a lot of fun playing in college, and I'm definitely glad that I did, even if it was only 2 years at D3. But even then and now, dude, I would play a game with my friends when we were 14, 15, 16, any day of the week. Any day of the week over going to playing college.
No, you know,
any day
this
of
makes
the
me
week.
think. I obviously have a few Tommy moments, but the one that always comes to mind for me, I was pitching. I never pitched. This is why when I have my glory moments, people, I'm going to talk about it because I was not by any means a great athlete. So when I was
You were better than
pitching,
you thought you were.
I wasn't that good.
Mentally, dude.
True.
Anyway,
Mentally.
I was pitching. It was travel. You know how you always, in Little League you play travel baseball?
The Red Sox.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
Red Sox and the
yeah,
Muck
yeah,
Dogs.
yeah.
The Red
Well,
Sox
this
and
was
the
the
Muck
Muck Dogs time.
Okay.
But anyway, we're playing, and our travel leagues would have fucking Demo, you know what I mean? Like we were stacked at pitching. I'm never gonna see it unless we know we're gonna smoke this team. So I'm out there, and a kid was already the kid. How did he get on? I think I came in relief, or maybe I gave up a walk. I think I walked the kid. I struck out the next guy, so there's one out, and I'm thinking, all right, I got two more guys. Maybe I can, this is the only inning I'm ever gonna pitch. Throw it comes right back at me, and of course Tommy's at shortstop. And, literally, you never get double plays. I throw it, lead him in front. Tom just comes out, snags it, just one hand rifles it, hits the kid. And I'm just like, he's just turned a double play. And fucking literally, nobody turns a double play. No one turns
Never.
a 1-6-3
Unless you,
double play.
catch the ball and step on the bag.
Right,
or,
like that, but, not
not
like
a
a
1-6-3.
right up the middle,
a
you know what I mean?
1-6-3,
Like, you
yeah.
don't turn those kind of double plays.
We
Just
had
it's
some
too
trouble
short.
turning double plays in high school sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
Like shit.
That's true.
Yeah. That happened all the time is... I'm not going to put him on blast. Never mind. let's keep going.
But yeah, no, it was crazy though. Like, I look back on it now, I'm like, holy shit. Like even our senior year, it's like, look at the middle of the infield we had. We had you and Koval, which was like, okay, you have a D1 and would turn out to be a D1 and a D2, like baseball player.
Yeah.
And then who was Midge was a lot better of a ball player than I think he gave himself credit for. Honestly, Midge was good.
He's
He
always
gave up
hard
on
on
himself.
himself. He's
He
always
gave
hard
up
on
on
Midge
himself.
was
Yeah.
good though, man.
Yeah.
Midge was good. I loved playing with Midge. Me and Midge up the middle. I loved that.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, being on the right... Dude, you at short, Midget at second, me at first. Me and Midget would just talk shit all game long.
Oh yeah.
We used to... dude, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, it was awesome going to play somewhere else and having fun and traveling all over this side of the country. But, when you're with your buddies and, you can talk about what you're doing later, what you did last night, or you make a joke or... it's just fun.
Yeah.
It's just fun. And, to cheer Tommy on and be like, hey, Tom, let's go get a hit. Or, hey, Brett, come out there.
Yeah.
Like, it's just cool. It's just
Well, it
it's
means
awesome.
something more when it's, people you grew up with.
Yeah, dude.
That's why I'm getting into softball.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm playing this summer.
softball. Are you playing? What team you playing?
I'm playing on Tony Ray's team.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Good shit.
Yeah, are you
dude.
playing with, Brett and them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
They
good
asked
with
me to, but Tony had asked me a couple weeks ago, so.
Oh, nice, dude.
Yeah.
But dude,
That'll be a lot of
I
fun.
feel like that's gonna be a blast.
Yeah.
An
Oh,
absolute
for sure.
blast.
Yeah,
It's
dude.
it's just the same shit that we used to do when we were 14, 15, 16.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's softball. You just
Yeah.
gotta hit bombs.
You just gotta wait.
Just try
You
it.
just gotta wait, dude. Because the ball comes. I played one game once, and you just gotta wait.
Oh yeah.
You just gotta wait, and you hit the shit out of the ball if you wait on it, but you just gotta wait on the ball.
I need to get a glove though, because
I was thinking about
I only have infielder gloves.
Yeah.
What
Right.
am I gonna do with 11 and a half gloves with a fucking softball? You know what I'm
With
saying?
a 400-pound man just rifling at it.
Yeah, that's not
from
happening.
70 feet away.
Yeah, that's
like,
not happening.
if you're deep in the hole of that field, you're playing 70, 80 feet back, if that. You're just gonna get a ball rifled at you.
I would like to play outfield. I feel like outfield.
Dude, I feel
would be-
You would be a
Dude,
great outfielder.
I loved playing
Hey,
outfield.
you see that
even in
catch?
high school.
Pretty
Like,
freaking
sweet.
sweet. We were in Florida my sophomore year, and for some reason Rick's coach stuck Tommy out in the outfield because I think Tommy and BJ used to take turns at shortstop that year, and later on Tommy was the only shortstop the next year. But that year they would take turns. So Rick hits one in the gap over his head, and Tommy makes this diving catch, and he turns to me and Grice and he goes, "You see that catch? Pretty freaking sweet."
He was a character, man. Dude, Florida was fun. Florida used to be
They leave
a
tomorrow.
blast, dude.
I know. Alex leaves tomorrow to go.
Tell him it's gonna be a blast.
I told him, I was like, dude, go to Steak and Shake. Go see Todd.
Oh, got to. Steak and shake. Wow. Steak and shake.
We didn't because we weren't 18, but some of the guys that were 18 at the time, there was a adult
sex
shop.
Yeah.
Oh,
sex
So
shop.
they went and got a blow up doll, put it in front of Rick's room and like
Is that what
knocked
it
on the
was?
door. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I didn't care, dude.
No, the next day at practice, he was just like, "Hey, you guys are a bunch of pranksters. You guys think
You
you're funny."
remember they used to smoke a ton of fucking Black and Milds down there too.
We did, dude, and who I'm not gonna say their names. I kind of just said their first name, one of them, but there were two of them. We would always smoke cigars on that trip, and all the older kids would always be like, "Yo, we're gonna tell on you guys," and like
Yeah.
they were serious about it, like
Really?
because remember that group of seniors?
Who was the seniors?
Well, that year it was like John Richards, Andrew Hoy, Alex Grice.
Oh, so it was our sophomore year.
So it was our sophomore year, yeah.
okay,
Because my freshman year I didn't go. You went with like
Yeah.
Deadman and DeSillis and all them, yeah. But
That was cool, but like I was the only freshman,
yeah,
so it was like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Well,
No, it's
You
just,
know, suck a little
It's
bit,
tough.
and then you won't have to go, Tom. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
yeah, suck a little more. All right,
Jesus,
how about
Tom.
that?
But that's
No.
dude, that's sick that Alex is going, dude.
Yeah,
That
he's
really is sweet.
yeah, he's he likes it, so he's doing good. But,
Is he the only because he's what, a freshman, right,
he's a
Alex?
freshman,
yeah.
yeah.
Is he the only freshman that's going?
Yeah, he is.
Nice.
Yeah, he is. He pitched against. I guess he pitched against the varsity team yesterday and did pretty good. So.
That's awesome.
Were
Is his
they-
arm
were
feeling?
they
is
in-
he
Yeah,
feeling good then?
I go the whole 9 yards with him. Like, I make him ice after every time he. Okay, so coach makes him run 2 miles after every time he throws, which is awesome.
Mm.
And then he ices, and then I got these bands that I bought when I was in college, like for your rear delt, the back
Yeah.
side of the shoulder. Because if you look at anybody, dude, like you right now, or even if you look at me, like you're so hunched forward because you do push-ups all the time or you bench press, so your shoulders are like that.
Mm.
So these bands, what they do is they get the back of it so that your back gets stronger, and that's what makes quote unquote, it's kind of hard to explain, but it's more kinetic energy, makes you throw harder. So I make him do those after he throws, and now it's gonna sound kind of like kind of preppy, but I actually like massage his arm for him, like after he throws off the mound now.
Why not?
Yeah,
Because
it's good.
it gets the blood flow going, and I mean he's had injuries before. Like I don't want him to, he's in high school. I want him to enjoy playing high school ball.
Yeah.
I don't want him to. So like I rub it down for 10 minutes, get the blood flowing. But
No,
yeah,
it's just
Tyler's coming off of Tommy John.
is he really?
Yeah, he had Tommy John last August.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So
no,
when,
not last August, 2 Augusts ago.
Oh wow.
Okay, so he should be by now. like,
He's
the
back.
rehab's
He's back.
all
He
in
pitched
there.
in
Okay.
Florida. Did well.
Nice.
Did well. I think he pitched. What was it?
Where's he going to school?
He goes to GCC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't, didn't he try? Wasn't he at N
He was
Trip?
at N Trip, and then that's when he had his surgery,
Oh, okay.
and then he came back to G Dub to play, which is good though. I mean, he's at home.
Right.
He's
Yeah.
doing his shit now. He's a big kid now,
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah,
it.
he's
yeah,
put some
no,
weight on, man.
yeah, he
he's
really
put some weight
has.
on.
which is good, which is what he needed to do.
Yeah. I mean, it's what we all needed to do.
Yeah,
You look back at it, like that's all we all need. That's what I tell like the twins. Like the twins are so into working out,
Mm.
and I'm just like, dude, you guys. Well, Jake is, Tyler is too, but I'm like, dude, you guys are 19. Like I'm 22, and I'm just growing into my body. Like you guys have so much time. Like I'm not even fully grown into my body yet. Like it takes a while, unless you're like, what's the name of the dude? That's gonna Shaquan Barkley or whatever his name is.
Saquon
Yeah.
Barkley.
Saquon.
he's
Yeah,
a
unless you're
freak.
like him or you're
He's a
like Baker Mayfield and you're just these sick D1 athletes that are just grown men when they're 17.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know.
even then, look at somebody like Jeter who was 18 and like skin and bones, but was just a freak. Like when it comes to like
Yeah.
talent,
Yeah.
he just had a ton of talent. But like if you actually look at his like physical makeup, you're like, all right, he hasn't grown into that body.
He
yet.
actually had a lot of hard work too. Like he was good. I think
Yeah.
he went 5th in the draft that year, but which I mean, if you're
Yeah.
going 5th overall,
Yeah, he
you're
went,
you're,
he went
you're
top
amazing.
10. He went top 10.
I think he did go 5th, but yeah, he struggled his first year in the
Didn't he
minors.
have like 40 or 50.
he had like
something
50
errors?
something
yeah,
errors,
it's ridiculous.
and
That's
like
tough.
yeah, and
That's
then
tough.
But you're also that's the difference from baseball, like high school. Your senior
Oh,
year in high
yeah.
school to by the way, you're in the minor leagues.
well, that
and
was
all
hard
that.
for me, dude. Like when I
Like-
went up from JV to varsity, like the first few
It's just a
games
whole
my
different
junior
level.
year, I wasn't hitting that good, and then I came around and hit fine. When I went to college, like my freshman year, I got lit up.
Right.
First half of my sophomore year, it was hard, but then towards the end, you figure it out. Well, you either figure it out or you don't.
Right.
Freshman year of college, I batted a 187.
Yeah.
187, bad.
Yeah.
Not good.
Not good.
Not getting you,
that's
not getting you in the
good.
Hall of Fame.
No, that's
Nah.
not.
But then you figured it out.
I figured it
yeah.
out. Yeah, you get used to it after a while.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's all the
speed's
mental
faster.
stuff, dude. Like I wish I.
But that
would've
was
known
always the
mental
thing
stuff.
with you, though.
man,
Like I
dude,
never,
That's the biggest thing.
like I honestly, and I've said that, like, and I've talked to him about it before. I'm like, the thing with Tommy, like talking with you, said whenever we would play like higher competition, like whether it was even when we were kids or if it was high school, you always would play up like to the
Mm-hmm.
competition. Like you never seem like you're ever out of your league. So you never might necessarily dominate like lesser competition, but you wouldn't ever. You would never inferior to guys that we thought were like perceived as better. Like you always would play. Like you always rose to whatever level you were at, and that's a good thing. I was just like that was something like not a lot of people are capable of doing.
No.
So that's why when I knew college come around, I was like I could see him being a really good like athlete because he always rises to whatever level he's at. So the fact that you had success was no surprise to me.
Well, I mean, like in basketball, like especially senior year, I mean, I took plays off.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
it was
we were
different
up
too.
by
You went
30.
you
know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You're
that was
up by 30. It's
we did
tough.
more running in practice than we did in games because by the time the fourth quarter came around,
Yeah, we didn't.
we
really,
weren't playing.
Yeah,
We killed teams.
yeah.
We absolutely.
U
killed
Prep
teams.
was our closest game.
And that one we had to come back for. Yeah, that one was a fun game.
U Prep
But
was our closest game besides the one we lost.
right, yeah, that was a crazy year.
That was a doozy.
That was a
That was a doozy.
That was a crazy.
man.
Dude, that was one of those like for Avon though. That was like one of those 1 out of 10. Like you get one game out of 10. Like because dude, we scrimmaged them earlier that year and smoked them by 40. Like we killed them. Granted, they didn't have their best player, but that kid didn't do shit in the second half. Like when you look at the actual stats, like he was all right hand and he would just try and run and get to that elbow once he forced.
He said that he had that one quarter.
Yeah, really, that was it. He couldn't
Dude
miss.
made like 6 threes.
He couldn't miss. Absolutely
Yeah,
could not
just-
miss.
just hit him with
Just
fire.
like Jalen shit.
Yeah, it was
You
just.
should have seen him playing when we played over there.
I heard,
Jalen, shout out to Jalen, bro. That motherfucker can ball.
yeah, I heard
That
he's doing.
motherfucker
Well, he
can
was.
ball,
Did he
dude.
finish?
Shout out to Jay.
Because I know he was
real.
preseason, like was supposed to be preseason conference player of the year. I don't think he ended up being that, but still, that's awesome that
way,
he's
dude.
even getting that.
Well, dude,
like, recognition. That's
we've
awesome.
been trying to get him to come on, and it's been hit or miss. Like he's been busy lately. So, but yeah, we want to talk to him
Jalen's
because
always been
he is a
good
fucking
basketball
baller.
player. Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I was actually asking Jake Brasky about it the other day because I hang out with Jake a lot.
Yeah.
And I asked him, I said, your senior year, who was the best basketball player on your team? Not I expected it to be Justin. And he goes, case could be made for Justin, dude, but honestly, I'm probably going to say Jalen. He was like, dude,
you should
Jalen
see
was
him.
just that.
See the thing with Justin, he was just so athletic. He was just talented.
Justin's one of the most athletic people I've ever met.
Yeah, he's just so talented, like
That
just
kid-
so
that-
athletic.
If he picked up freaking archery, he'd be good at it.
Yeah, he's
Jake
just
is
one of
just-
those.
We were
just
talking about this the
pure,
other day.
just
What
so
if
talented.
LeBron James had just picked up a baseball at age 5? Like, could you imagine
Instead
him
of a basketball.
Could you imagine him on the mound, dude? He would be chucking,
Oh God, dude.
chucking,
Or even football.
chucking. Well, yeah. Well, that Charlie Weiss.
Well,
tried to recruit
he
him.
was a
Yeah.
he was an
Over
all
Notre
state
Dame.
all-state player for in football. He was legit.
Imagine
a really good
6'8",
football player.
275 tight end.
You know who I guess was a better football player than he was a basketball player? It was Allen Iverson.
Really?
I heard that Allen Iverson was.
Let's see, he was like
nasty.
what 6? He
6
was,
foot.
Yeah, 6 foot. I could see him because in the NFL you
Said he
could be
played
that.
quarterback, I think.
I don't know if I could see that in the NFL, but maybe
Well, no, not
as
in
a
the
slot
NFL,
receiver, like
Oh yeah,
'cause
like a
he's
Deshaun
fast as
Watson
fuck,
type.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like maybe put him in the slot, like have him as a receiver there, like a Percy Harvin type player.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Which speaking
Or even
of which,
a running back. Honestly, running backs are short as hell in the NFL.
yeah,
There's
yeah,
like
he's
5'7"
got to
guys.
put on size. Though.
Really?
Yeah, it's true. But
Yeah,
dude,
running
he's
backs
fast.
are little because
He's
like they
fast.
like the lower center of gravity.
That makes sense.
Dude, like-
you can get under him.
Like
Yeah.
MJ, what's his name? Jones Drew there. MJ.
Oh yeah, he's like
He was-
5'7".
Yeah, he's like 5'7",
5'6".
but he was a
230 though.
Pro bowler
Just
for
a
most of his
beast.
career.
Just a fucking
oh yeah.
boulder, dude.
I mean, not everybody could be Adrian Peterson, who's like 6'2", jacked and
Yeah,
just unreal.
but he's like 225, but just all muscle. Yeah.
He's
But
just a
speaking of
freak.
which, Zale, I didn't know you don't have a favorite NFL team.
I don't know. Not really. I mean, when I was like 5, I used to say the Browns because my dad liked the Browns. But then I got older and I was like, no, you can't say that. You can't say that
Don't be a
anymore.
Browns fan.
No, I don't know. I
Your team's
honestly,
the Colts, right?
Yeah.
I was a big.
They just traded back. Traded with the Jets.
Love that trade, by the way.
Yeah. What
Love
else?
that
I'm
trade.
trying to think of where else they got.
They
Obviously
switched
that
picks,
picks.
and they got 2. I think they got 2 second rounders.
That's actually nice.
It's not bad.
I was always
Especially because they're not going quarterback. They got luck.
Never.
So
No, they need defense guys.
Yeah.
What were you saying though?
I was always a big Peyton Manning fan growing up. Like
Yeah.
I remember in like 02, 03, I saw him play. So I guess I considered myself a Colts fan until he went to the Broncos.
See, I'm a Colts guy.
Yeah. You and Cans have always been Colts
Yeah.
guys. But,
Same with Jay Wash. Jay Wash is a Colts guy
dude,
too.
they were good. They had
The
Dwight
Colts used to be
Freeney, dude.
disgusting.
Dwight Freeney, yeah.
Dallas
Bob
Clark.
Sanders, before
I got
he
a
would get hurt
Bob
all the
Sanders
time.
jersey.
Yeah.
I got a Bob Sanders.
He had that
jersey,
one,
yeah.
really one year where he was just fucking real.
The
but-
one year he was healthy. The one year he played every single game.
Yeah.
He won Defensive Player of the Year.
Marvin
Just-
Harrison.
that was his thing. He couldn't stay healthy. Reggie
Marvin
Wayne,
Harrison, Reggie Wayne.
Dallas Clark was a tight end.
Yes.
Edgerrin James in the earlier years.
Edgerrin
Yeah.
James.
Throwback to Brandon Stokely.
Stokely was
Oh,
good.
yo,
Yeah,
that
he ended
dude
up
was
going
a
to the
beast.
Broncos, I
Brandon
think,
Stokely.
after that.
I
Stokely,
think, I think he went to the Broncos, and then he went.
I don't know,
if
because
he
I
was
think he
there
had
with Peyton.
concussion
And then remember the
problems there, yeah.
Patriots and the Colts kept trading
Yeah.
their kickers. One was Vanderjack
Oh,
and the
yeah.
other was Vinatieri.
Vinatieri.
They kept
Yeah.
going back and
Yeah,
forth,
yeah.
back and forth.
Yeah, Vinatieri's. He's
But,
still their kicker, Adam
Yeah, dude.
Vinatieri.
He's. I think he's rolling up on like most points ever.
I could see it. He was one of the
Probably the
clutchest
best in
kickers
the
of all
game, yeah,
time.
he's probably the
well,
best in the
now I don't know, just
Now
because I don't
it's-
think he can kick it as
it's
far.
probably
He's
Justin
accurate.
Tucker.
but
Well,
I
I
don't know if
meant-
he can- Tucker is. Yeah,
It's probably
Tucker's
Tucker.
definitely the
Who?
best.
Yeah, the dude for the
kicker
Ravens.
for the Ravens. This
Oh,
dude
okay.
boots like 50
Stud.
yarders with
I don't think he missed
ridiculous
a,
accuracy.
I don't think he missed a field goal this year.
I wouldn't doubt it. Like,
He
he's
had
the
something-
highest paid kicker. Like he
he
gets
had
paid
something
way
like-
more than kickers should be paid, but he's disgusting.
It's worth it. Yeah,
He's
right, yeah.
disgusting.
Yeah.
Dude, you keep seeing though they're saying this Josh Allen can throw what they're thinking like 90 yards in the air.
Seriously.
Like his arm strength his completion percentage is horrible.
Allen or Rosen?
Allen,
Allen.
like the
okay.
guy from Wyoming.
Okay.
Like
okay.
Rosen I think is the best quarterback in this draft class, but Allen has the best arm strength. Like Kuiper thinks he's going. Accuracy means something to me. It means a lot to me because the last two quarterbacks they said that had this low of an accuracy and went this high. One of them was Kyle Bowler. He didn't do shit in the NFL. Yeah.
Who?
He was the quarterback that got drafted after the Ravens won the Super Bowl and they cut Trent Dilfer. That was the next quarterback. Bowler didn't do dick. And the other guy, I can't remember who the other guy was, but it was another guy that was a bust. Like accuracy means a lot to me as a for
that's why
quarterbacks. It
I
means a
think
ton to me.
For me, the best quarterback in the draft
Mm-hmm.
is Baker Mayfield.
He could
I
be.
don't-
He's a
just-
dark horse to me. I don't know how to feel about
I don't-
Mayfield.
See, the thing is, how
I think
can
it depends
you
on
win
the
the
team.
Heisman as a quarterback, but not
Mhm.
get taken number one. You know
Well,
what I mean?
that's also could play into. I mean,
get
Johnny
the-
Manziel.
yeah,
we
I
don't
get
know.
the mentality shit and all
I mean,
that.
Lamar Jackson also won it a few years ago. He has
That's
accuracy
true, and
problems.
I think he's fucking good too, though.
I don't know. See, now here I have. Who was it? I was talking to? I guess I'll give a shout out to Chad Winkleman. Shout out to you because we and him were talking about this at Dick's. He wants them to get the Bills to get Lamar Jackson so bad. He loves him. He loves Lamar Jackson.
The only thing about I don't know if they will because of the whole Tyrod thing, because they kind of had someone like that. I mean, Tyrod could not scramble the way Lamar Jackson does. But
Right. Yeah, I get that. To me, I don't know.
do you know what pick they have?
The Bills, they're sitting. I think
They got 16 or 17 or something.
They're trying to trade to 4, right?
Well, they might.
I heard
I mean,
there's
if
a
they want to go
blockbuster trade in the
quarterback,
works.
Yeah.
we'll see. I don't know where they end up trading because who did they trade up with? They traded with. I think they actually might be at 13. I think they're right ahead of the Packers now. Maybe not, because Green Bay's sitting at 14, and they're not going. Obviously, they're not going quarterback. That'd be absolutely the most ridiculous thing ever.
Why?
Unless one of those great
They're gonna
quarterbacks,
go.
Why? fall, like the whole like the Rodgers and Favre thing.
Why do the Packers not need a quarterback?
Well, you see, Tommy, when you have the best quarterback alive,
Alive?
you don't. Oh, come on, who's better than Rodgers? Don't even give me Tom
Rod-
Brady.
I think Rodgers is the most talented quarterback ever.
Thank you. I agree.
Like
I completely agree.
Why? Listen, we had this discussion before. We weren't gonna fucking talk about this.
I had
We
to.
weren't gonna egg him on like that.
Listen,
all
I
right?
know
God
that,
damn
but I
it.
had to because Aaron Rodgers is my dude. I get him in fantasy almost every year.
And he's money when he's healthy. When he's healthy, he's money.
He's dude. He's unreal.
He's
He's
so
unreal.
good. If I name my team, even if I don't have Aaron Rodgers, I don't give a fuck. I name my fantasy team Mr. Rogers Neighborhood every year.
I thought you
if
were,
I have the man or
Of
not,
course,
and
though.
his photo is always of him just doing this.
Yeah.
Every
Gotta
single
be.
time.
I thought you were gonna say I'm gonna name my kid Aaron Rodgers.
I'm not going that far,
Aaron
but yes, I
Rodgers,
do love
Mercedes.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
You're not gonna name your kid Aaron Rodgers Mercedes.
No. Although, crazy fact here, it was at this age that Rodgers is going to be. He's going to be 35, I think, in December. It was around that age that Favre was when we drafted Aaron Rodgers. Now, granted, Rodgers fell.
really?
Yeah, Rodgers fell that far in the draft. Fell
Yeah.
to 23 or
Could
whatever
you
it
imagine
was.
his
But
stats if he didn't lose those couple years?
yeah, but you know, even he says, I wonder that too, but his mechanics and shit weren't really that good coming out of college. He just had a lot of potential,
Okay.
and he said those 2 years sitting behind Favre, well, it turned out to be more, but he thinks at least those first 2 years behind Favre were the best thing that ever could have happened to him.
Okay.
Because he just, I mean, he
Yeah,
learned
learned
behind a
eventually.
Hall of Famer,
Behind
a
one of the
first
greats,
ballot,
yeah.
one of the best QBs ever, in Brett Favre. Not the best, but one of he's going to go down as
He's
one of
top
the
10.
greats. Yeah, I
He's
think so.
top 10.
Talent-wise, the problem with Favre is he never had. Rodgers is way smarter.
Yeah.
Favre
used to just fucking throw it.
Favre had
Throw
ridiculous.
bullets, dude.
Favre had
Yeah.
ridiculous talent and believed in his arm a little too much because he would throw the ball into places where it was just like, dude, what are you thinking? Like, don't throw the ball across the field.
Yeah.
Like and that was his downfall. But Favre could have been the greatest if he had the mind of like Peyton Manning. He would have been the best because he had a way better arm than Manning or Brady by far.
Dude, his arm
way
was,
better. Arm.
Dude, I remember like
He
10
had
years ago he got clocked.
His arm was gross.
Or no, maybe it was more than 10 years ago. It was like 2002. He got clocked throwing a football like 74 miles an hour. Dude, that is so fast.
They said if you
dude.
could apply,
Ridiculous.
the metrics they use are like, if we could equivalent, first of all, receivers routinely, like ex-receivers will come out and say, we hated running slant routes at training camp. He always broke our fingers doing this. And he would have had more interceptions in his career, but DBs couldn't catch his balls because they were BBs that are coming at you. Like, it's just like, we
Well,
weren't
you know what they say
grabbing
about
that.
defensive backs, though, right?
Receivers that just couldn't
Receivers
catch.
that can't catch.
Yeah, that's why they
Can't
played
catch.
DB. Yeah, but no, but with him, what was I going? Oh, yeah, they did like a science on it where they're like, if you could equivalate
Was it a
that
sports
and use,
science thing?
where if you, I don't know if it was the ESPN sports science, but it was like some science
Okay.
that like said we could equivalate this to baseball using like mechanics and translating it to what it would be at baseball. He would throw a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Said easily, like it would
I don't know.
translate.
Well, yeah, I
to
mean, it
that.
makes sense, dude. Look at people like Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, you got to get it because you're throwing. First of all, football's different than a baseball. It's just bigger.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different throwing motion, actually. Like
Yeah.
baseballs are.
Which is
thrown
funny how
differently.
there's very little arm injuries with football than
Yeah, that's
instead
true.
of baseball. It's weird, but I mean,
It's just you're throwing it
Well,
different.
because
Yeah,
it's
the mechanics.
I think it's because you're like whipping it when you got a baseball. Like, dude, when you like you're whipping it, whereas
That's
a
true.
football, it's more concise.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
I
and
mean,
you got to
it's-
think too. Like it's roughly the same motion. Like in baseball, like you're throwing a curve, you're snapping. Like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, but
in
dude,
that
you'd
sense,
be
it's different, too.
surprised. Like, actually, and there's a lot of research that's come out the last 15 years. Like, there's actually a lot more elbow stress caused from fastballs than there are from curveballs.
Yeah, I could see
And
that. I'm
that's
just
why
saying the
the
fact that you're throwing just different variations.
Yeah.
Like it's not a consistent.
yeah.
I don't know.
You know, I get what you're
And
saying.
on a mound, I don't know. It is different. Baseball's definitely a lot different.
It's just
like the motion.
you're
mechanics
just
are
stressing.
different.
Like, okay,
Yeah.
another way to think about it too is like softball pitchers. Like, yo, you got a stud softball pitcher. She can throw every game for you.
Yeah.
She can throw 5 games in a day.
Yeah.
Like you throw in baseball, like you can't do that.
No.
Like your arm just
No.
it's completely different. Like
Not
I
unless
can
you're way back.
if you can
unless you're
bench,
Cy
like-
Young.
yeah.
like
Yeah.
you know what's that era. Yeah, you're not doing it.
Like you can okay, if you took one dumbbell, like, you know, there's plenty of guys that can bench press a 100-pound dumbbell, no problem.
Mhm.
Like you give a 5-pound baseball to like Steven Strasburg or Clayton Kershaw, they're gonna blow their arm out because like your arm is not like a baseball's 5 ounces. Like it's not
Yeah.
like you can't throw anything really more than 2 pounds like without your arm just falling apart. It's just the mechanics of it because I don't know. I'm not a scientist, so I don't know.
But I know it's the same thing like bodybuilders.
Yeah.
Like one of my roommates back in North Carolina, his brother was actually he would do arm wrestling like competitions, and he said like if his brother ever tried to grab a ball and throw it, his UCL would just be gone.
Yeah.
I could see
Because
that.
of like this, I guess apparently like this motion right here is just horrible for right here.
really.
Like it's really strenuous on just this part right here,
Mhm.
the UCL
Right,
ligament,
where you'd
and,
get Tommy John
You
if you
just get
blew it out.
destroyed.
Speaking
I mean,
of arm wrestling, did you know there's a Sylvester Stallone movie where he played a guy that like went and won an arm wrestling championship?
No.
It's
was a
called
movie.
Over the Top. Look it up. Over the Top with
Over the
Sylvester
Top.
Stallone. He's an
Had
arm
to be-
wrestler, and of
had
course
to
he takes on the biggest dude like in the world, and somehow miraculously beats him.
of course.
Dude, I heard a joke once, or not even a joke, like it was from a different podcast actually, where the guy claims that he was at a party with Sylvester Stallone and he was like talking to people, but he actually talks like his movies, like the fights of Rocky, as though they were real fights. Like I don't know if it's just like a gimmick, but it's just like, are you kidding me? Like he's actually, yeah, man, I fought this guy. He was just killing me, beat me in the first fight. It's talk about Clubber Lang, like it's just like Mr. T in
He
like
was
a movie.
He,
Like, talking to those, like
I guess he always used to drink tequila.
really.
I guess that's all he would. Because
Stallone?
someone I used to know, her father used to live out that way, and he was a bartender in the '80s out there.
Mhm.
And he told me like he showed me pictures like of him and Tony Danza hanging out, him
no
and Frank
shit.
Stallone smoking a joint together, like. And he said that Sylvester Stallone was quiet. He said he never talked. He was always with girls, and he only wanted to drink tequila.
Oh shit, cutting back on the carbs.
They called him
I guess.
Sly. Yeah, I asked him. I was like, well, you know Frank? Did you ever know Sylvester? And he was like, oh yeah, little guy. So he said every time I asked him like 3 times, he's like, oh yeah, the little guy. So I guess I called him a little guy, or he's like 5'9" or something. He's not.
There's a lot of actors that are small.
Yeah, Wahlberg, I guess, is super short.
Well,
Like,
Tom Cruise is like 5'5".
yeah, he's really
Tom
short.
Cruise.
What?
Tom
Yeah,
Cruise
he's
is
little, dude.
really
I
short.
mean, you could
yeah.
tell he's shorter, but
Yeah.
I don't know. He's 5'5".
Zac Efron's like 5'7".
Yeah, these guys, they're
Yeah.
really not that tall. Like
It's
I said, I
funny
heard
how that-
Wahlberg's,
it's funny
I
how it
think, is
works.
pretty short too.
I don't doubt he's fucking jacked though. So it
Yeah,
doesn't
but
matter.
so is like even
yoked.
Efron. Like those guys are all
Yeah,
like
they're
built.
yoked.
He's ripped. He's ripped.
Yeah.
He used to not be.
Yeah.
If you look at Zac Efron from like,
High School Musical.
yeah, not ripped.
Yeah.
Looks like looks like my brother Alex, with longer hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now he's like
Dude, that was a big
No, he's
style
like
for like
2% body
everybody.
fat.
back
he's
then.
cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's cut now. Well, he did the whole Baywatch thing. He did the Neighbors. Like he got cut up for that.
You know
And
who's
you have
not
to-
short and still really jacked? The Rock.
Knew
Dude,
you would
he's
say that.
freaky, dude. He's freaky.
so massive. I
He's-
want to know
yeah.
what roids he's on because I want to eat those.
I think
He's a freak, dude.
He
No, he
had
is.
to.
He's a
I
freak.
think he was on roids
Back
when he was
then.
in the WWE. I
Yeah.
don't think he's on roids now.
I agree
No,
with
he's
that.
Yeah.
he's definitely on something. Now.
You
You
could
cannot
tell.
tell me that guy's
You
not
could
on
tell.
supplements. Any type
I know,
of
he's
like
pro- I
like
don't- I
test.
don't know.
Dude, I do not buy that for 1 second.
Like, I
Look
don't
at that
think he's
dude's
on
body. There's no
HGH.
way he's not on something.
Anymore?
He's definitely still on something now. Not
He
saying
might
he
be
doesn't
on
do a
some-
bunch
he
of
might
stuff.
be on some
I guarantee you,
boosters
if you
or-
USADA and the UFC made that guy drug test right now, he would fail it.
You don't lose. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying you're
He
wrong.
would
He
probably
probably
fail it,
takes lots of supplements, but
Yeah.
I agree. I don't know if he's doing anabolic steroids.
No. I'm not suggesting like literal steroids. I'm saying
No.
like
Oh.
some type of
Oh,
like,
he
yeah,
definitely
that you
is.
couldn't like go into
Everybody
like
taking
does,
some,
dude.
yeah,
he's
that's what I'm
probably
saying.
taking some. It's called like
Something that you couldn't like go
L-glycemic
into
acid or
like
something.
There's
Or
lots
that.
of shit. Yeah.
like
Yeah, it's
if
just
you were in the
there's so many
MLB,
different
he would
things you could
probably
take.
fail it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, dude, because there's so many like tainted supplements you have. Like
That's true too.
we in college, like we used to have to sign things saying we wouldn't do anything.
Yeah.
Like I'd take any supplements, and we used to take this certain creatine.
You're not even allowed
and
to
this
take
certain
C4.
creatine. Yeah, you can't take
You can't take
C4.
C4.
Like
It's too much
Yeah.
caffeine.
yeah.
They don't fuck around. Yeah.
No, yeah, they don't. Yeah, and if you fail, you fail. Like you
you're
could
toast.
have too much coffee. Yeah, dude, they like you can't play for a year. if you
That's
fail.
insane, man.
You
Well, it
fail.
depends on what you fail for.
Too much.
At least
Oh,
for
does
us it
it?
was. Yeah, for us it
Oh,
was.
for us, it was like
Like
a
I know,
year.
like
we had two
obviously,
kids
like,
that
Adderall
failed
and
for
stuff, they're like,
weed.
no, but
And they got 10%, like 10% of the season.
Oh.
They were suspended for.
Really?
Yeah.
See,
your
they
second,
always
your
told us-
second offense is 50%, and then your third is a whole year. That's how it was for us.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
That's how
it might be
was.
different for.
I don't know.
They never, like,
but
got into
actually,
it.
you know what? I think that was our school policy.
Yeah,
It might have been our school policy.
Yeah, it might have been.
Yeah, that's right. That was our school policy.
Gotcha. So go ahead.
no. Go.
Well, I wanted to change it a little bit so you can.
No, all I was saying is, yeah, I didn't mean like literal steroids. Like, yeah, definitely in the WWE, like before he
course.
left. Yeah,
course.
everybody, even those guys are still doing them now.
And that's
a
the
lot of
thing
those
is you
guys.
don't lose that stuff. Like,
Like,
dude,
let's put it this way. First of all, he still does the WWE a little bit from time to time. But Brock Lesnar also is still in the WWE. Now, look at that guy's body.
He's got to be pushing 40 too.
Yeah, he is 40, I
Is
think.
he?
Yeah.
I mean,
He's
gotta be up
close,
there.
yeah. But he went back into the UFC and fought, 2 years ago, fought Mark Hunt. And after the fight, they're like, yeah, no, you failed. I mean, he got suspended. Like,
Yeah,
he's
then
so,
he went
like,
back to the WWE, right?
yeah, and I mean, it was just a one-time shot anyway, so there's, like, a lot of, like, conspiracy, like, thinking, like, dude, okay, the UFC knew damn well the guy's pissing hot, as they call it, and he's going to still go into, like, they just wanted to save this card because McGregor wasn't fighting on it because he was just getting in trouble and, like, told the UFC to shove it. This is when they were going to do the DS2 fight. And John Jones got suspended the first time after he pissed. So it was just like, they're like, we need to get something on this card.
could have been.
So that I personally think they did. And Mark Hunt actually ended up like suing the UFC over it. Be like, you knew, like knowingly let this guy go out there and fight me when he was juiced up.
Did he really?
Yeah, I think he dropped the suit, but he ended up.
Did they settle privately?
They probably
I think
settled,
they settled
yeah.
out of court. But whatever it was, he was just like,
He was
you guys-
compensated well.
Yeah,
I love how
He
that
was
was
trying to say
our first question at the same time. Did they settle
Yeah,
outside
they
of court?
had
yeah, probably.
Yeah,
but
they
he
settled.
was suing.
Well, that's
him.
what you do. I'm going to sue you for $50 million. All right, give me $1 million.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He was like 2.5.
Yeah.
Like
But
2.5.
he's
Yeah.
like, this guy's juiced up, and I went clean, and I got steamrolled by this guy. It's like I could have damage the rest of my life.
Yeah.
This guy was
Yeah.
roided up. But
Do you see the Lesnar Velasquez fight
yes,
when he
dude,
got
Kane-
absolutely
Kane mauled
fucked
him.
up in the first round?
Yeah. What Kane was able to prove in that fight is that technique beats horsepower.
He
every
needs to
single
come
time.
back, dude.
He's
He's been hurt for a
literally-
minute.
So I've
It's
heard
his neck, I think, right?
it's his back.
It's
So
his
what
back,
happened
yeah.
was the problem is he keeps getting hurt like in these training camps, and he keeps trying to push through it, and it's gotten to the point now where it's really bad. According to, I don't know if you've ever seen the Fighter and the Kid podcast, but it has Brendan Schaub on it. And,
I know him.
And he does it used to be called the Big Bear Breakdown. Now it's called Below the Belt. He has his own podcast on top of a different one.
Oh, really?
He renamed it because Showtime sponsors him. He talks about like boxing and stuff too, but he's a former UFC heavyweight, and he said that from his the people that he talks to that are close with Cane's camp, he literally has a cage around his spine. Cain Velasquez, there's a cage around his spine to stabilize it right now. So who knows if that dude's ever fighting again?
Yeah.
Your back, his back is that fucked up. Where they're worried about the guy, because last fight was UFC 200 and he won. But yeah, no, he fucked Lesnar up in that fight. That was a great fight.
If he's healthy, he's the best heavyweight they got.
Oh, for sure. Pound for pound, he's unreal.
Yeah, and he's
unreal. He'll beat anybody. He is.
John Jones versus Cain Velasquez.
I'm taking Cain.
No, whoa,
I'm taking
no,
Cain.
No.
Wait, that's the first time I've ever heard him say that.
In his prime,
ever.
I am taking Cain.
Really?
So John Jones isn't the greatest of all time then?
John Jones is naturally 215.
Yeah, and Cain weighs in at around 230, 240.
Dude, I'm taking Jones.
Dude, Cain's beating guys bigger than him. He's beating
I don't
guys
know
that
enough
have
about
got 30
Cain to
pounds
say.
on him.
I don't know enough about Cain Velasquez.
In their
to say.
primes, okay, well, first of all, standing up purely with your hands, Cain's better. He's got better elbow. His kicking wouldn't be as good as Jones. Jones's wrestling is good. However, he had trouble.
Evens out.
He has trouble taking down Gustafsson.
Gustafsson is a fucking G though.
Gustafsson is a G, but he's not going to beat Cain. Cain's bigger
Dude, that
than
fight,
him.
that Gustafsson
fight was
Jones
unreal.
is good.
I still believe to this day Gustafsson won that fight.
Dude, that
I still will
nuts.
stand by saying Gustafsson. He was 1 for 10 in takedowns, and that's your signature thing. Not only did he stuff him, he was peppering him on the feet. Peppering him. Dude, look at Jones's eye, dude. It was all fucked up.
I got one
he
for
swelled
you.
it shut.
Who's winning in the fight? Cain Velasquez
I don't know.
or
Actually,
Mighty
that is a
Mouse?
Yeah.
Hang on, real quick. What does Mighty Mouse weigh at?
125.
And then McGregor's 140?
Well, 155 now.
145, 155.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, then
The lowest he could cut to is 145.
Yeah, that's all right.
He was pushing.
I don't
dude.
know, man. That
Yeah,
would
he
be.
was
I'd have
real
to really
slow
think
back.
about that now. Jones and Cain. Because
Dude, I'm taking Jones, dude. I think Jones is the best ever.
The reason why I asked that question is he always says that, and there's many people that always say that. Joe Rogan says that. I don't know enough. I don't know as much as Benny does about UFC or Joe Rogan.
the reason
but
why
I agree.
Cain's not the GOAT is because he hasn't competed enough. That simply is.
Has he ever won a title?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He won. How he got the belt was beating
He got
Lesnar.
it twice? Did he
might
lose
be
it?
twice. He lost it, yeah, because he lost. That was when Verdum got it the first time.
But
he
he
lost
lost
to
a fight
Verdum.
then. So he lost a fight.
He did,
There you
Yeah.
go.
but I don't know if Jones beats
There you
Verdum.
go.
Dude, Verdum. Well, maybe now. Verdum's like 40, but Verdum in his prime, maybe
But
not.
Jones has never lost a fight. All right.
he
lost a
he
fight
beat himself.
via DQ.
He beat himself, which is
He lost
horseshit.
on the DQ.
And even then, it was horseshit how he lost. It wasn't the elbow that was so bad. It was bullshit.
I love
can't,
the saying John Jones
Can't throw a
never lost to
12-6,
anybody
yeah.
except John Jones.
It's
John
honestly
Jones,
true.
the only person who could beat, is himself and USADA. USADA's the
Yeah.
only one who's beaten John Jones. It's the only one who's ever beaten John Jones. He can't. Man, I don't know. That's a tough one. Cain versus John, because we've never seen him compete against heavyweights. He is tall, but that those guys are just as tall as him at the heavyweight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's
But
in
you
a
thought
weird.
Jones would have murked Lesnar.
Oh, he would. He would murk Lesnar.
Because remember after...
Lesnar's got no stand up,
I
and
think that too.
Jones would just kick the shit out of him.
Well, because that's what I asked you after
I think he
Jones
would beat the shit out of
and then
Lesnar. Yeah.
it got vacated.
But Cain
when he-
also beat the hell out of Lesnar. It was not a contest. He tried taking him down. He did take him down a couple, but he just showed his technique is way better than Lesnar's horsepower. And Lesnar's no joke. Was an All-American wrestler. I mean, he's not just a WWE wrestler. He was a legitimate badass wrestler who made it into the NFL
He went to the
and got
University
cut.
of Minnesota, right?
Yeah, and he got cut by
Any
the
Big
Vikings.
Ten school in wrestling is good.
Oh yeah,
That's how it is.
he was a horse, but I mean, I don't know. I'd have to actually really think about that. Jones versus Cain. And I mean, both in their primes. I mean, Jones still kind of is. He is in his prime.
You think he ever fights again?
We'll see what happens. I don't know. Their side keeps seeming to think that. I keep hearing from a lot of sides. It's no, he's going to fight again in 2018. It's I don't know. Because then you listen to Chael.
It can't be UFC.
Well, that's what they're saying. They think.
It's gonna
They
be like
think.
Bellator?
The thing is, though, what just happened with USADA just came out and announced, and this is the first time this has ever happened, that they fucked up and apologized to. He's fighting in the heavyweight division now for Bellator. What is his name? The guy was just cleared. They were able to prove that his supplements were indeed tainted, that he didn't do anything wrong, that all the ingredients were in his supplements were fine, and that USADA, although he failed the drug test, he literally had this was 100% not his fault.
Okay.
And but it took a year of his career away by the time they were able to finally clear him. Not that it mattered, because Bellator is going to be like, well, they don't care what USADA says. Bellator is not the UFC.
Yeah.
The UFC is the only one that uses USADA for their drug testing. But Bellator is like, we don't give a fuck. Use whatever you want, basically. As long as you've passed the commission's drug test.
They should try to get him.
They won't be able to because he's under contract.
Oh,
this guy wasn't under contract anymore, yeah.
Do you know when his contract is up with the UFC?
No, because the way that contracts work in the UFC, it's not like a year-to-year thing. It's how many fights. It's a fight contract, so you have it based on so many fights.
Did
so
they buy him out? Did they
could.
That?
They won't. They won't, though. They could, but they won't. They did with Chael, but Chael was also like 40, and they're like, But
Chael's son, and by the way, is Al. I don't know if you know who it is.
Yeah, I know Chael Sonnen.
Yeah, I think he has a podcast, does he not?
He does. I showed him the fight with Chael versus Anderson Silva the first time, where Chael definitely would have won had he not gotten caught in a triangle in the fifth round.
Well, this just cracks me up.
He's a specialist. He's a wrestler.
It cracks
That's
me
all
up.
he really
Who did he
is.
fight before Anderson Silva? And as soon as the fight's over, Joe Rogan comes out and he's like, wow, Chael, he's like, that was a great fight. You know, what was working for you? How'd you feel? And he just grabs the mic and goes, fuck you. Or no, what did he say?
Anderson Silva, you suck.
That's what he said.
Meanwhile, Silva hadn't lost in like 8 years and was literally just dropping everybody.
Silva was there.
He was the pound-for-pound greatest of all time at that point.
Yeah.
For sure. Silva was unbelievable.
Him in his prime or Jones in his prime?
No, I take Jones. I take Jones for sure. Jones is just way taller than him. He's got an 84-inch reach. He's 6'3". There was a time when they said those two had to fight, where they were gonna try and get the Silva Jones. Those two didn't want to fight each other. They were like, I don't want.
Well,
that.
he got caught for shit too, didn't he?
Silva's his career's done.
Yeah, well, yeah.
He's facing this is like the third time he's gotten caught with PEDs, or second or third. He's done. He's done, and he's 40 something anyway now. I mean,
We've talked about that before though, I think on here, like,
I love the UFC though, man.
how did these people get caught so many times? And it's just like, if you got that contract, you're gonna cut angles to figure out a way to win.
Here's the thing though. The thing that's like how I was telling this heavyweight, I can't think of his fucking name, but how he got cleared. Mm-hmm. Well, they think that might be a precedent for John Jones, like to maybe because he's arguing tainted supplements. Problem is, and he's not denying these are the supplements. Problem is he wasn't completely straightforward with all the supplements he was taking this time. He was saying other ones like, wait a minute, but you didn't list this when you told us these were supplements you were taking. Even though these ones aren't disapproved, they're also not approved either. So who knows with John Jones, man. I hope he fights.
Fucked up shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a lot of fucked up shit, and I mean, he got caught for coke too, right?
Yeah, he failed with coke in his system,
which kind of blows my mind because it takes like 4 days to get out. So I understand that they random test you.
So Jones has said on Rogan's podcast before that a tradition of his, and this is he credits this to also why he thinks he performed so badly against Gustafsson, because they said this shows how crazy John Jones' talent was. They said his team literally came out and said he did not train at all for Gustafsson, basically trained about 2 weeks out. And he just never showed up. He just basically rolled in that fight and still ended up beating the guy.
Yeah,
he's just ridiculous.
I'm pretty sure he was coked out too.
Oh yeah, well he says his tradition before every fight was exactly 1 week before the fight he would get as belligerently fucked up at a bar, drugs, alcohol, as he could, as fucked up as he possibly could 1 week before out every fight. That was his tradition.
Dude's nuts. I mean, to get punched in the fucking face for a living, I mean, you got to do something.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
you have to have some type of personality where that's what you enjoy doing is going out there and fighting. You have to be a little.
You got to be some crazy shit.
Yeah, I agree.
Do some crazy ass shit. I think about taking. There's jiu-jitsu classes right across the street from my school.
Yeah, no,
right across
me
the street.
and him have talked about it. I'm gonna sign up for jiu-jitsu come May.
Is there some here in Batavia?
Oh, no, you gotta go Buffalo.
No, but you know where I'm gonna go. There's a Gracie certified gym in Victor. That's where I'm gonna end up going.
In Victor?
It's called Victor Jiu-Jitsu, but I don't know if ever heard of who Henner and Harry and Gracie are, but they have their main gym is in Torrance, California, and Gracie's created jiu-jitsu. I mean, that's
Brazilian
jiu-jitsu is literally Gracie jiu-jitsu and Brazilian jiu-jitsu are the same thing. Their grandfather
right.
created it, like,
I
and
gotcha.
Hoist, who proved that it was the best thing in UFC 1, like, proved that all things aside, if you're not well-rounded, if you have just one martial art, you want to know jiu-jitsu because that will win head-to-head against anything else. The only thing that really ever gave jiu-jitsu a hard time is wrestling, and even then the kryptonite of wrestling can still be jiu-jitsu if you don't know what you're doing. But with that said, their grandfather created this, and their grandfather was only like 140 pounds, like shorter than me, weighed even less than me, and they have articles and videos of him consistently just calling out people in Brazil saying, come to my gym, anybody can show up whenever they want, I don't care what size you are, and we'll fight one-on-one. And he like always won, never lost. They have a letter, they have it posted in their gym of their grandfather getting a rejection letter back from Joe Louis, who was the heavyweight champion in boxing at the time, challenging him to a fight. Just, he said, but not boxing, like a real fight. Like, anything goes. You can punch me, I don't care. And just a street fight. And Joe Louis was like, I respectfully like declined, like just saying, because he didn't. You don't want to fight like a dude who knows the ground like that. Like, he knew damn well, like, this guy's gonna. He took. I mean, Hoist Gracie. I don't know if you saw him ever fight Dan Severn. Dan Severn was a wrestler. Hoist Gracie, what did he weigh? 180, 175 to 180. Dan Severn weighed 240. A wrestler, and he was just underneath him. And back then, by the way, the UFC.
When was this, real quick, though?
That one was UFC 4. So this was the late 90s or mid 90s, yeah. And back then, you won by knockout or submission. There was no rounds, and there was no time limit. You won by knockout or submission. He was under Dan Severn.
That's straight savage shit.
Yeah.
Right there.
Oh yeah. That's how it was.
crazy.
There was no judges. Fuck that. You by the way, you fought all your fights in the same day. It was a tournament.
Oh really?
Oh yeah. You had 4 fights to win if you were gonna be champion. You fought them all in the same day. Like, he won the first 2 UFCs. He lost the third one because nobody beat him. He went out for the fight like in the semifinals, and then he was like, I can't do it. He was so exhausted that he was like, I literally can't fight right now, and forfeited. So nobody beat him, and then he went to UFC 4, and Dan Severn had him on top of him, was wrestling him, just like I said, 240, just took him down like it was nothing. He's got 60 to 70 pounds on the guy, and was on top of him the whole time, punching him, doing whatever, and 16 minutes or so he was on top of him. So, that's a lot of energy taken out of you. And then Hoist caught him in a triangle, and that was it. That was the first time anybody ever.
That was the first triangle.
That's
right?
called the most famous triangle choke of all time because nobody knew what a triangle choke was.
Nah.
Like, literally, if you listen to the announcers in that fight, he's on his back, he's taking it. He goes, and Hoist is, putting his legs up there, but that he's not gonna really do anything with those. He's not in a bad, Dan's not in a bad place there. Next thing you know, you see Severn tap, and he's like, "What the hell?" And he goes, "Oh, you're wrong there," because they didn't. Even the announcers are, "What the hell's a triangle?" They didn't know what a triangle choke was. He didn't know you could choke somebody out with your legs, and he did. And he took
triangle choke's badass.
Oh yeah, but that was like the kryptonite, right? Wrestlers, you'd never want to be on your back because that's how you get pinned. That's how you lose.
180.
Yeah, maybe like
No,
181. He was like 170, really. Yeah.
Okay.
160, 170.
Yeah, like I think the most he weighed in, it was like 181. Even then, they try and like make you look a little bigger. He wasn't that big. He was like 170s.
Speaking of which, bulking season, huh?
It was.
Shit, man. What are you up to now? 240?
Now I'm down to.
I
haven't weighed myself.
What was your peak?
241.
Wow,
dude. And
fat
spandex, shorts, and a t-shirt. So I probably had 2 or 3 pounds on me. But dude, I was 197 in August and 241 2 3 weeks ago.
Dude.
It wasn't all. A lot of it was fat because I've been drinking. I've been eating cheeseburgers. It was a dirty bulk. I was taking a lot of creatine too. I stopped because I wanted to shred down. So there was probably 10 pounds of water I lost.
What are you weighing now?
I haven't weighed myself.
Not yet.
I'm gonna wait another couple weeks. I've also I've been doing more cardio.
Yeah.
I've been doing more cardio than usual, and I've been getting a cleaner diet, but I haven't gone crazy. Like, dude, last summer I was balls to the wall, and it paid off. But pretty soon I'm gonna be getting back into that.
Yeah.
I know we just changed the subject, but now I'm really thinking about it, dude.
Let's go back.
Tommy would be gross at jiu-jitsu.
Dude, I know.
Tommy would be disgusting at jiu-jitsu
because you're so flexible,
you're athletic,
dude,
and like,
well,
you're lengthy too, which is like really good for jiu-jitsu. Like, you're long with your legs and your arms. You'd be really good at it.
I would never do it competitively.
No, but you don't. You know what I mean? Still though, I think you'd be good at it.
It'd be a blast.
Because
I've been
like a lot of people that are long and lanky like you.
That goes to the Y, and he trains up in Buffalo in the school that I'm gonna start training at in July or August. I haven't decided. And he's a cool dude. He's got a mat in his basement.
Okay.
Me and my brother started talking to him, just about working out. And then one day I went up to him because he always wears a jiu-jitsu shirt, and I started talking to him about that. He's like, yeah, why don't you come down? So me and my brother Jake, we go down there. We haven't gone in a couple Fridays because he was gone, but we're actually going tonight for a little bit.
Nice.
Gonna go roll with him. But we've gone probably 5 or 6 times. Like, dude, we learn some shit every time.
Well, you said he's a purple belt, right?
He's a purple belt.
Purple belts
You
take
said you saw
some
him at
time
the
to
Y?
get there.
Yeah.
Is he got a lot of tats? Is he tatted up? He's an older guy?
He's tatted. He's always doing the stuff on, like, the balls. He's standing on the balls.
Yeah,
Like the bouncy balls, doing all that stuff. But there is one guy that's tatted out of his
You know what I'm
mind.
talking about? I think he
Shorter
does, I think he
dude,
does
looks
some
older.
Shit. Yeah, I think he does some shit like that too.
Dude, you know who that is?
No.
I don't know his name, but I'll tell you 2 facts about him. He was the first ever Native American to be a world champ Muay Thai winner. So he was the first.
Oh wow.
And he was John Jones's first Muay Thai coach. If you look at the fight with Chael Sonnen and John Jones, that guy is in
destroyed
John
Chael,
Jones's
too.
corner.
No way, really.
He
Yes.
fucking destroyed Chael, too.
That dude at the fucking Y in Batavia.
Yeah, that fight was just a fucking
That was he just
demolition,
mauled him.
dude.
Mauled him. Absolutely.
holy
mauled
shit.
Him.
No, wow.
Dude, now that I think about that, I'm thinking about this more and more. I probably would take John over Kane in his prime. Now that I'm thinking about it more, I had to think about it a little bit. It wouldn't be easy, but it would. He probably wins by decision. I don't think he knocks him out, but he definitely wins. He wins.
He's the real deal, bro.
Dude,
He's
John
the real
Jones is
deal.
so good. I have to think about that a bit. Like Jones is just fucking savage.
Didn't he beat
He's
someone
so
with a
good.
broken arm?
Oh yeah, no. Vitor got him in that arm bar and he kept slamming him.
And he broke it.
And oh yeah, he said it popped. And like if you actually see him after, he was just like out. But like he's like you didn't actually see it break, but he said he popped his arm right out.
Yeah.
Like he hyperextended it. And he thought and Vitor himself said like in Brazilian or Portuguese after to like not there, but like there was reports of him saying after he goes, yeah, I heard it pop and I kind of eased up a bit because I thought he was gonna tap and the fucking guy didn't tap. So, dude,
then he
you're
fucking
a fucking
beat him.
animal. And then
Then he
he
fucking beat him,
he finished him. I think he stopped him. Dude, Jones's elbows are just some of the worst elbows like shots I've ever seen anybody take. He is so fucking deadly with those.
And he'll
But yeah.
throw him whenever.
Oh,
Whenever
he's so
he does
creative.
Throw him, yeah.
Even just how
He'll do
about
an
that kick
uppercut,
though he
fucking
had on
elbow
Cormier?
and-
How about that head kick to
Oh.
Cormier?
Just
in
wearing
the
a
last
baseball
fight?
bat to the face,
Oh,
dude.
dude,
Just
honestly.
wearing a bat.
Like
Honestly,
Cormier
yeah.
thought he's going low and just boom right there.
Yeah.
Cormier never been stopped ever.
No.
He's undefeated as a heavyweight. Never been stopped in his career. He was a heavyweight. The only reason why he went to light heavyweight is because his teammate Kane was, as a heavyweight, was a heavyweight and was a really good heavyweight. So
That's
he's
why I
like,
think
fuck it, I'll
it's
go down.
Jones. Like his body of work, the people that he's beaten.
Oh, legends.
I mean, nobody has beaten that many people ever.
He's destroyed him. He's beaten.
Fun UFC fact though. Rashad Evans
Mm-hmm.
went to N-Trip,
No shit.
wrestled 2 years at N-Trip, All-American National Champion at N-Trip.
What?
Yeah.
Sugar Rashad Evans.
Yes.
That's crazy.
He was
Another fun
he
fact,
knocked
do you
out
guys
Chuck
know
Liddell.
Who
He's the one who
Kyle
helped-
Dake is. Have you ever heard the name Kyle Dake?
No.
That sounds familiar.
Wrestler at
It
Cornell,
does.
never
Doesn't
lost.
Sounds familiar.
Doesn't have a single loss in his college career. He's good buddies with my roommate in North Carolina.
What weight class did he wrestle at? Do you know?
165.
Okay. Yeah, still, that's
I think that's what it is. I don't quote me on that. I'm not sure. But he's
wow.
yeah, he's good friends with the kid I roomed with down in North Carolina.
So I want to do a 360 on this. And there was something really interesting we talked
360 or
about.
180.
That's the second time I've done this.
Either way.
360. We're just coming back to the same place.
Wait. All right, we're back. Let's talk about wrestling.
All right,
No.
no, go ahead.
We were talking about baseball before the podcast, and
Yes,
we
yes.
both said
Oh yeah.
Yes.
if you
Yes.
could go back and tell yourself now what you know, and granted, like I definitely don't even know nearly as much as some people, but college helped me, and I know college helped you because you played at N-Trip,
College was the best thing that
and then
happened to me.
and baseball and non-baseball, but
Yeah,
we're just talking baseball right now. What are some things that you wish you could go now and tell like 15-year-old Tommy P or 14-year-old Tommy P? Because I got some for me.
Probably the biggest thing would be how to hit, because I never thinking about what my swing was to what it was to what it used to be to what it is now. I guess you could say it is now. I mean, I don't play anymore.
Yeah.
So when do you think then? Like, so what did you correct and when did it like happen? Was it that second year at N-Trip or?
No, it was actually my first year in North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
Is when it happened. Yeah, I learned that it's not about the extension.
Mm-hmm.
That was the biggest thing. Like, it's hard for me to explain it without showing you. But basically, instead of when you get here, instead of extending, your hands should not move. Like, it should be all your hips.
Right.
Literally, your hips should get you to the ball, and then you extend, not extend out. And
You know who's funny, actually, who told me that,
back.
and I didn't understand it until, like, I started hitting it more and more, and because it... Problem is I caught on way too late. It was at the end of my senior year, and I wasn't going to play, and I wasn't going to play in college. But Colville's dad actually was showing me that.
Yeah, see,
he's
and
like,
he did the same fucking thing to me, and I didn't listen to him.
Yeah, what he was, but I listened too late. He was telling me, he goes, what you do with your hands, he goes, it's incredible you hit the ball where you do, just because, like, he said, you're really good with hitting it with your hands. Like, he said, your hand-eye coordination is really good. He said, but the power, but you also generate all of your power that way, and that's why you don't hit it as far. He's like, if you did this with your hips, and, like, he was showing me that.
Yeah.
He's like, and just let your hips get to it. He goes, you wouldn't need to, you're using your arms for all your power, so let your legs, like, use it, all that generate. I didn't get it either, but
I always thought it was a bunch
see.
of fucking bullshit.
Yeah, no, but he's super smart.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
When it comes
That's
to
the
baseball.
biggest thing. What about you?
That's crazy, though.
So I got a bunch.
Were you hitting it, just while I'm thinking of it,
'cause I
did you
wanted
hit
to
it a
stand
lot,
up.
like, farther when you did it? Like, what did you
Well,
notice?
dude, he hit like
Miles.
8 or 9
Yeah.
home runs that year.
Miles,
You had
dude.
like 9 home runs that year.
Nice.
I remember watching you. You had like 9. Didn't you have like 7 or 8 home runs?
I think I had 4.
Oh, dude, I thought you had more than
But
that.
I had 4 over the fence. I think I had 2 inside the post.
Okay, but yeah, you raped, dude. I mean, you were second team all conference
Yeah, like, I mean,
in a D1 school, not a shitty D1 school.
But
yeah.
what we do know is you know, you kind of got a little extra benefits there from Mr. Ryan. Just saying, you
Hey,
know,
that
little...
doesn't. That's neither here nor there. But
No, that was hilarious. You said he gave you what, a lot of chips and Gatorade? Is that what?
Gatorade, yeah.
Jesus Christ,
Because,
Mr. Ryan.
I mean, it was awesome when he would come too, because he came like 3-4 times. I mean, it's
He
just
loves
awesome.
it, man.
Yeah,
He loves
that
baseball.
shit.
No, yeah, and he
Especially
cares.
if he knows
He
somebody.
does. That's the
And
thing.
he cares
cares
about kids like us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Like not us, but like kids that hung out with Joe, kids that he coached. Like he
Yeah.
actually cares.
Yeah, he gives a shit, which is cool.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And he's such a nice guy.
He is.
But well, the first thing would definitely be the mental part, which
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's called The Mental Game of Baseball. It's a book.
It's a book, yeah.
My coach made us read it, and my parents bought it for me. I asked him to buy it for me, and I made Alex read it. I made him read it 3 times, and he's like, dude, he told me the other night, he came to me and said it. He was like, yo, that stuff's starting to click, and I can, like, see it working. And it's just stuff like positivity. Like, if you got a 3-2 count when you're pitching, I'm like, don't say, oh, shit, I don't want to throw a ball. I don't want to throw a ball. Don't, because your brain doesn't understand the not part.
Yeah.
It just understands throw a ball.
Yeah.
It doesn't understand the not part. It just can't comprehend it. So you say, you know, I'm going to throw a strike. I'm going to throw a strike. Or instead of saying, man, I hope I don't miss with this, you're going to say, no, I'm going to hit X. Like positivity,
right, it's just
specific
being
positivity.
Like that confident and cocky. That was something that I never fucking was able to
It's
ever
the same
do
with hitting
myself.
too. Like
But-
instead
Same
of
thing with
being
hitting.
like,
Yeah.
this dude's throwing 95. Oh fuck! It's like, nah, this dude's throwing 95. Let's fucking get it.
Yeah.
It's that.
Yeah.
It's that. It's the difference. That's the difference.
There's that. The other one, like just actual pitching, because I didn't hit in college. Like I hit in the fall, and they were my first year, and they were like,
Oh, I didn't know you hit in the fall.
yeah,
Oh,
in the
shit.
fall I hit in the
Okay.
fall. I actually did really good. I hit like 360 in the fall season,
Mhm.
but they were like, listen, like this year you're not going to get any time at first because we have 4 first basemen, 2 of them are seniors.
Yeah, it's tough.
But like we do need work in the bullpen, so like we want you to just pitch, and then next year you can come back and you can try out for first again. But I didn't end up trying out for first when I came back, and then I didn't end up. You know, I just wanted to pitch because I wanted like to be the guy.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to work at that, and then I didn't end up playing. You know, my junior year. But the other one would be the inside fastball, dude. If you can control the inside
Oh,
fastball,
my
dude,
God, dude.
you can fuck people up right on their hands, dude.
People
Right
don't
in on their
understand it.
hands. People roll over that so much, dude.
You want to know what was when I would have a 3-2 count or a 2-2 count? If I was behind the count, the only thing I ever thought of was he's not gonna fucking beat me inside. I don't give a fuck. He's not gonna beat me inside.
Yeah.
No way he's gonna jam me up
Yeah.
and make me hit a little dribbler a third or like right back
Right.
at him.
Yeah.
That's not happening.
Because your eyes are gonna light up and you're gonna be like, yes, and then you're gonna swing and you're gonna be like,
Oh
Ah.
fuck yeah! See, I was like, if he's gonna throw me outside and I fucking roll over and fucking
yeah.
and I like reach for it and ground to short, that's way better than me fucking getting beat on inside fastball.
Dude, the inside fastball is key, man.
It is.
Key.
It really
And
is.
you brush
That's a
people
tough
off.
pitch
And I
to
had
hit.
it nice because I could never throw a 2-seam right.
Mhm.
I could because for some reason every pitch I threw would run
back in.
no the other way.
Oh, okay.
It would run away. Even my fastball. Like, dude, when I went to
Alright,
college, like my first day at tryouts,
Yeah.
because like all you know,
You have to have him.
yeah, they like catcher and coach came up to me and they're like, "Yo, what are you throwing?" I'm like I was like throwing a fastball, and they're like, you're throwing a fastball. They're like, it looks like you're throwing cutters out there. And then my sophomore year, they'd be like, dude, you're throwing sliders out there, because my ball would just go ding. So it would be awesome for me, because if I throw the ball right inside, it looks like it's just gonna skim them. Yeah. Everybody does the puppet hands. You know, you throw your hands up like a puppet, and it just curves right
back into the fucking middle of the plate.
So that was something that I learned my sophomore year, which I've been telling my brother Alex. I'm like, dude, you're 14, 15. You're throwing mid 70s, which is good for around here in high school. Like if you're gonna roll over so many people on that inside fastball. Like it's just don't miss it over the plate. Just don't miss down the middle.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's easier said than done.
No,
obviously, it's very easier said than done. But
if you have the right command, though, that could be a devastating pitch, like you're saying.
Yeah, if you like, well, that was why Koval was so good too. I mean, don't get me wrong, his stuff was gross, but dude, he really did have good control. Like, and I didn't realize it until later on.
He did.
He had really good control.
He was good.
His mechanics were solid. That's why he had really good mechanics. But the thing with him that sucked for us was he was hurt really, like his arm our senior year. That's why like, the velocity on his fastball his curveball was still as good as ever, but the velocity just wasn't there on his fastball. Because I remember
the next year, of course.
Yeah, and then he was sick the next year. Yeah.
Did they win the next year?
Yeah, they went to states the next year.
I remember that.
Koval was good though.
Tyler was on that team though. Tyler's got a sectional patch. Yeah, shout out Tyler.
Damn. No, I didn't
got one.
Was
I
he
don't have one.
Junior that year, sophomore college?
Fuck, man, I don't have one.
You got 2, 3?
I got 2. I had 1 in football senior year and basketball my junior year. And we made it to the finals in football my junior year. We lost. Baseball, we made it to the finals my junior year and lost.
Arkport, right?
Arkport. Dude, that
Arkville,
was such
Arkport.
a fucking horse shit. Dude, this umpire was calling, like, strikes that were a good, well off the plate, man.
Oh,
like,
GR All-Stars, man.
Trouble, man. Huh?
Or GR umpires, dude.
No, because it was the sectional finals, so it wasn't even the GR.
Okay,
but yeah. No, they're trash too, but yeah.
Shit.
But
all umps are trash, dude. Anywhere you go, umps are trash.
It was so bad.
Promise you.
I just
the
remember
language
seeing
we speak.
Dude, that was Billy. Was so funny. Billy, shout out to Billy Sutherland. He's a coach again on varsity. He's back.
I see that. Yeah.
Him, Mikey, and Big Mike, because the Spators are gone.
Mm-hmm.
But no, they were I just remember that game was awful.
There's a lot of awful games.
Dude, and then we just lost. We got some stories. Our senior year.
But you know what we did do junior year? We beat Fucking Sutherland.
We did beat Sutherland in the semis.
In the semis.
Well, they were one in the state.
I didn't think you were gonna throw.
They were,
I didn't think the last play of the game, dude. I'm at first.
Oh, I almost
Bases
blew
are
it.
loaded.
Oh,
bases
dude,
are loaded.
I blew it.
Bases are
fucking
loaded.
blew
2
it,
outs.
Yeah.
4-3. BJ's on the bump. Tommy's over at short. There's this like ball right to Tommy. It was kind of hit slow, but Tommy charges it. I run over to first, dude. He's like this, like
he's like, just throw it.
I'm pretty sure Rick yelled, "Throw it!" Like nobody thought he was gonna throw. He threw it, dude. He threw it low, and I scooped it, and we won. But dude, me and you just ran right to each other. I remember, dude. I'm getting so excited talking about it, but I just.
That was lit. That was a dope ass fucking
dude.
Game. Shout out Richie Francis that game.
I scored from second, dude.
Yeah, shout out Richie Francis.
Rick said in the paper, he's like, I never thought Zach was gonna score. Because I was on second base, I just hit the tying run in, and I was on second with 2 outs, and Richie hit one down the line in the left field, and Rick's fucking waving me.
And we're going nuts in the dugout, like, oh fuck, it's Zale.
God damn it.
Love you, but you are one slow motherfucker.
Slow.
Very slow.
It's alright though.
Yeah, man, I'll say this till the day I die. Like, playing with my best friends, I would love to go back and do that. I would give up a lot to go back and, like you said, play 7 innings, with the boys just one more time. Or even go back in my backyard. Wiffle ball, dude.
Dude, I used to love
the
that.
wiffle ball days.
Love that. Dude, those 2-on-2 wiffle ball games were wars. It'd always be me and Jake versus Tyler and Zach. Always. I remember when Tyler hit Jake. Jesus. When Jake hit his first home run, I was sitting on third. He went oppo over that fence.
Of course, you put me and Tyler together. Me and Tyler always argue.
Yeah, no, those were always fun though. A lot of fun back then.
I haven't seen. I see your brother Jake every now and again, but I haven't seen Tyler.
He put a lot of weight on.
Tyler did?
Muscle and fat, but he weighs more than Jake now.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. Wow.
Jake was always bigger than him when they were younger. Like Tyler
but Jake just hit the gym and just fucking got yoked.
No, I know. I'm just saying when they were like that young.
I hate it, dude. Like he fucking came home last night with 4 takeout things from Applebee's and just stuff in his face. And dude, they did it at the gym the other day. He's like 8.5% body fat.
Genetics, man. He's got the
Is he
good part
really?
of the
Dude,
genes.
and he doesn't even look shredded. He's 8.5% body fat. I was like, they had to do that wrong. He's like, no, we did it twice because Lisa said the same thing.
Wow.
That's got to be wrong. No.
How do you do that? Don't you have to like you grab? Like,
Yeah,
this?
well, there's different ways to do it. Like the real way, the least accurate way is they put you in a water tank. Like this is for like the competition, like
Okay.
Mr. Universe and shit. They throw you in a water tank and they can measure the displacement of the water and do a formula, and somehow that's.
Oh.
But yeah, like you said, he said that she pinched right here, like on his chest, right under his arm, or right under his shoulder, pinched on his tricep, pinched on his stomach, and pinched on his thigh. Did like weight and height and flexibility and added all this shit together. I don't know. I got to do it sometime. I honestly probably be like 17%.
I would say
I
I'm
like
somewhere
beer.
between 12 and 13.
You? Well, I haven't seen you with the shit up, but dude, like you used to be like 5%.
Yeah, I
back
used
in
to
the
be
day.
fine.
You used to
Actually,
be
I'd
just.
probably say I'm around 10 or 11.
Nah, dude, you got good genes.
I'm around 10 or
You're
11.
pretty cut, man. You gotta be less than
Maybe.
that.
I don't know how. I wouldn't know what it looks like though.
Yeah, you don't know until you look it up. Like
I
I
don't know
just.
what it looks like.
Yeah.
Like if you show me somebody that had like was 7% body fat and 5% body fat, like
No, I know what you're saying.
you know,
Yeah.
I don't know if I really
Yeah.
know.
You could see the difference, man. You can. Like, I'll show you some. When we get done here, I was looking at pictures the other day because I want, and like, you can see the difference between like 5 and 10 is kind of hard,
Mhm.
but once you
Yeah.
get like 10 to 15, 15 to 20, you can see the difference.
Shit.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, man, it was
I'll
cool to
tell
see you in the
I have
gym
no
the other
idea.
day. I was talking to
Yeah.
2 people. One of them asked me about a squat rack, and I was like just explaining to him that I had a few more sets to do. Feel this tap on my shoulder. I turn around, and I can like see in the mirror that it's somebody tall. So I turn around and it's this fuck, and I was like,
me,
"Yo,
yeah,
Tommy,
see,
what's
yeah.
up, dude? What's going on?"
Well, I saw you when I
Tommy.
walked in, but you were like mid set, so I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go on the treadmill real quick
Yeah.
and just do it, and I'll say hi to him later. Cause I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to fucking interrupt in a workout, mid workout.
Hey man, what's up, dude? What's
Yeah,
going on? You're
yeah.
doing great, man. You're doing great. It's good to
Is
see
that
you.
heavy? Does that feel heavy? to you? Like, yeah. So, no, but it was cool to see you.
Yeah, it was, I
cool
didn't
to see you
expect. I mean, I
again.
knew I was going to see you because we wanted to do this.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, that's another. I'll tell everybody. I think they should know. Like we've wanted Tommy on for a while, just because he lives in Florida. Wasn't exactly going to work out until now, but he hit us up, told us when he'd be home, and we were like, "Fuck yeah, get him on."
Yeah,
It's
had to
been
get this rolling. Yeah.
Yeah,
I hit
we've
you
always
guys
been
up
a
a
big
long time. It was
Yeah.
like in January.
It was like
I
when we
think.
first started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And dude, now that I don't, because you were kind of telling me about summer. If you do end up chilling here for a while, like have you on again, man. We'd love to.
Yeah, no,
Absolutely.
no
Well,
problem.
you've always been a big supporter of it too, like from the beginning. You're like, yeah, man, I
texted
think that's
y'all.
awesome.
I think
Yeah.
it's fucking cool, man.
But yeah,
It's
no,
cool.
we love having you on now. Love having you on in the future. Can talk about anything, everything.
And I mean, you guys got like the setup too. I mean,
We're
you
trying.
got
We're
the
getting
We got to
setup.
get a
We're
studio.
trying.
We got to
Yeah,
build a
well, that'd be
studio.
fucking sick.
Build
That
a
would be
studio,
sick.
yeah.
We
That
want to
would be
build a
dope.
studio.
I'd
You
like
see
to
Joe
upgrade a
Rogan's
camera.
studio?
Oh.
I've never seen it. No.
Okay, do you watch his podcast at all?
Yeah.
Okay.
I listen. I don't watch. But
I don't know where I saw this dude. It might be on YouTube or it might be on Instagram. But dude, he's got a sauna in there. He's got like a lane for his like 3D digital archery thing. He's got like he's got a bow with an arrowhead that has like this digital thing on the end. And there's a screen where the fucking deer pops up, dude. He's got a gym in there.
He's got a nice gym in there.
What else
He's
has he got
got.
in
He's
there?
got a.
Is it like a weight gym or is it like a?
Everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, it's
Well,
like, 'cause
and
I know
and-
he's the
and he's got that.
jujitsu guy.
Yeah, and
all
he's got
He's got
that
mat in
stuff.
there, yeah.
He's got like this
I figured.
machine that, like can tell like pounds per square inch, like kicking and like punching like that.
Oh, he's
whole
got
thing.
that in there too.
Yeah, apparently
Dude's a
he
stud.
had like, because not a lot of people have those machines. He had like the hardest recorded kick like the machine's ever had, and it like can do a database of all of them. Problem is his kick, how hard it was as hard as what was it? No, it was just it was as hard as like one of the heavyweights punches.
Oh,
Which is
yeah.
like, dude, this dude's punching as hard as this guy's kicking. Like,
Yeah.
what's like, kicking's way harder.
Yeah.
So it's just like, whoa, shit! Like this dude can punch. It was Francis Ngannou.
Oh, okay.
Like,
yeah.
it was just like, and he didn't even like use like a legit.
Have you ever seen those videos of Joe Rogan kicking?
No, I
Okay, we're gonna show you that next. So we got body fat and we got Joe Rogan kicks. That's what we're gonna show
Yeah,
you.
no,
next.
his kicks are beautiful, like great technique. But he also has a sensory deprivation tank in there. He is the.
And I think he's got like a crypto thing in there, like the freezing one, or maybe he
Oh,
doesn't in
probably.
there.
Does he have like the
Probably.
anti-gravity shit? You ever see that? It's like you go into a
Sensory-
pod and I think
That's
it's
the
like
sensory
I
deprivation.
think he's got a
Alright,
time machine time travel machine in there too. I
It
fucked
probably
that up.
does.
Yeah.
Probably does. It's probably hooked up to the fucking.
I
Because
fucked
he
that
is like in the CIA, and
He is a cool dude, though.
No,
He
really
is a cool dude.
But yeah, no, that's what he was talking about, like the anti-gravity, like those pods. Those are I've been in one before, a sensory deprivation.
Have you really?
Yeah, no, they're pretty cool.
I would love
They're very,
to try that.
very, very relaxing. It really is. And when you walk out, you almost feel like you're on like a high in a way. Like you feel weird when you walk out.
You guys ever done Game Ready? Did you have Game Ready at Allegheny?
No, what is it?
So it's like, you know, ever heard of a stim machine? You know what a
Oh,
stim
yeah,
machine is?
Oh, yeah.
All right, but it wraps around your entire leg, and it like what it does is it's a stim machine, but it flows like cold air around the muscles and all that.
Mhm.
But like the air is like -5 degrees or something like that.
Oh, really?
So it's like freezing. Yeah, it's like below freezing, and it has to do with something with blood flow and all that. You're supposed to like do it before you have a game. That's why it's called Game Ready.
You ever been hooked up to a stem machine?
Yeah.
Dude, it feels weird.
Yeah.
It feels
bothers
weird.
me,
The
yeah.
first time it's weird.
Yeah.
And dude, I would always do it on my arm, like
Mhm.
after, sometimes before, but especially after I throw, just to get the blood flowing.
Yeah.
And if you hit it on a certain spot, like your arm will just keep
Oh yeah, it'll just keep
firing.
fucking up. Yeah.
It'll
yeah.
just keep firing.
But now let me ask you this: do you think that those STEM machines actually work?
I do.
Yeah.
Because
I think
I've
they're
heard
great.
that from some people that used to work in the athletic training department at Canisius that they're bullshit.
It could be.
Not even just
It
the
could be a
student. Like he
placebo.
said,
I mean,
that's what they're saying. He says it's all mental.
placebo.
They think it's a placebo. I don't know.
Could
That's what
be.
I'm genuinely asking because I've never used one. I don't know.
I know the few times that I had to use it,
Like, they
it
think
made
it-
me feel
yeah.
a lot looser. I just didn't do it in my arm either. Like
Oh, okay.
I hurt my hip my freshman year, so I had to do it on there too.
Mhm.
And like it did loosen it up.
Okay.
So I did feel looser, but it very well could be.
Yeah. Because this was just what he was saying.
Yeah.
If you know, this,
You
kind of
ever done
exaggerates
the,
a little bit too to the kid, but I don't know.
Oh.
I've never done it, so I genuinely
Yeah.
like
You
curious.
ever done the cupping? Have you ever cupped?
I've never.
Or
I mean,
whatever
I
it's
know
called?
what it
I've-
is,
I've
but I
seen
don't.
it done.
I've
though.
done it before. I don't like it.
No.
Nah, it's not. I don't like it. I mean, some people are. I mean, I know Michael Phelps is like
Right.
big on
Do you just
that,
don't think
but
it doesn't work, or it
I
just
just-
didn't feel right?
I don't know if it doesn't work. I just don't like it.
Okay.
It's weird. Like it looks weird. The way it feels is weird. I just don't like it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
you
I've
get
never
that
done it.
mark on you. That mark stays on you for like 4 or 5 days.
Oh shit!
wow.
I
Yeah,
thought
so
it would go way
it's
way
like,
quicker.
It's like a fucking super hickey. It's literally what it is.
Mom, I swear, I'm recovering.
I'm trying to recover.
I'm
yeah.
recovering. Jeez.
What
God.
kind of sick stuff have you been doing on your
Yeah.
back?
Yeah. But they're like this fucking big too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
No,
like,
I've
just
seen
like a
pictures.
bruise.
I've seen
Right.
pictures of people, and it's like.
Yeah, it's all over. The
It looks.
fucking
Yeah, it looks
place,
like a
man.
bunch of bruises.
Yeah, I've never.
How about acupuncture? You ever tried acupuncture?
No, I don't think I want to do that.
I don't
I'm
wanna-
down to do all these rejuvenation stuff, but that one, I don't
That
like
one might be
needles.
tough.
I don't like needles. I really don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never done it. I would be open to trying it. I'm open to trying a lot.
James
of that
Harrison is big on it. You know the
Yeah,
fucking
yeah, yeah.
linebacker. Yeah, he's big on
Dude,
it.
he is a fucking freak.
Yeah, you see his fucking Instagram.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
follow it. It's
Massive
massive.
human.
His barbell hip bridges with like 9 plates on each side. It's like, wow. That
Dude, you ever see him do
fucks.
the single arm fucking shoulder press? He's got a barbell with 245s on each side, just single arm fucking shoulder press.
Dude, his
Are you
Instagram
serious?
page is nuts, dude. Nuts.
This dude's crazy.
He works out balls to the wall.
And he's
balls
fucking
to the
40.
wall,
and
balls
he's
to the
40.
wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's 40. He's like
Shit.
one of the oldest people in the
He's
league.
so jacked. Yeah, no,
Oh,
he's
God.
he accepted the fact that he's not gonna be able to use speed anymore to try and beat linemen on the outside. He's gonna have to bull rush him. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be fucking way stronger than he is. All he's saying.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
that's
it's-
why he's doing it.
it's
And he
nuts.
is. He's a tank.
His
He's so
Instagram
big.
page is nuts. Absolutely nuts.
Yeah, he's got his clothing line too, I believe. It's called like Debo or something.
Oh, I don't even know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he's
didn't
got
know
a
he had
clothing
one.
line. It's like because you know how he always wears like the sweatshirts and the sweatpants
Yeah, yeah.
for
Oh, yeah.
when he works out.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean I know it's like Steelers stuff, but he sells shit
Gotcha.
that's
Well,
got
now
like it's got, like,
Patriots,
his
right?
name on it
Or
some
whatever
shit.
he's
Yeah,
with.
Well, yeah,
he's
now
with
he's on the
Pats.
Patriots. Yeah,
Yeah.
Is he still with them? Is he still under contract with them, or did he?
I'm
Yeah,
not
I
sure.
think-
That's a good question.
I don't know.
You know, I heard they're gonna look at Manziel.
I saw that on
I heard
ESPN
they're gonna look
yesterday.
at fucking Johnny
I saw
Manziel.
that on ESPN yesterday.
I mean, I don't know. I know that Belichick didn't want to get rid of fucking Garoppolo.
Which was smart.
That is smart.
He was
Dude's
right
good.
to. He was right to.
Dude's good.
He basically was like, I'd rather get rid of Brady at this point before I get rid of Garoppolo, which was smart.
You see the fucking contract he
really
got?
Good. Yeah. Yeah.
Jesus Christ! You win 4 games, you get what is it like 160 mil or something like
What?
Yeah.
that? Yeah. Dude, they're throwing around
Dude,
money in every fucking sport. Like crazy.
Garoppolo is gonna be like a Pro Bowl. He's going to be really good. He's going to be like
Well,
a
yeah.
top 5 quarterback.
Yeah, that's what you would.
He's
That's what
Brady.
I'm still predicting. I don't give a fuck if the Rams did just get Ndamukong Suh and they have him and Aaron Donald on that line, which is disgusting, by the way.
Oh, that's unreal.
Which is you got to double team one of those guys. It's a problem. Now you got both of them. You can't double team them
You
both.
can't bother. Yeah, you
Donald's
can't
better
double
than
team
Sue, but still, they're unreal. But anyway, I still think that the 49ers are winning that division this year. That's my
Really?
Did they just get
prediction.
Richard Sherman too?
They did, but their defense is good even without Sherman. Their defense wasn't their problem. It's that they didn't have a quarterback. They have a quarterback now. Garoppolo's good.
Yeah, they have a
man.
quarterback.
Garoppolo's going to be really good, and I think Belichick understood what he had with Garoppolo, and he's like, Brady, you're going to be. You keep saying you're going to play to your 45. You're not playing at this level when you're 45. I got news for you.
I mean, yeah, you can say that, but that's.
You could keep saying that you're going to set this history, but Father Time is undefeated. And
I was
you're
just
not,
gonna
you're
say
not,
that.
You're not
I was just
playing
gonna say that,
until
yeah.
What was this
45.
his 6th or 7th or 8th Super Bowl?
That he's been in, he's won 5,
5. I think
and he's lost 3, so he's 8th.
Yeah, 8.
Because he lost the
8.
Giants twice
8.
and lost the Eagles. Apparently, he can't beat the NFC East.
I guess not.
Well, no, he did beat the Eagles once. He beat the Eagles. He's beaten the Rams. He's beaten. Well, the Patriots have beaten. They won on a last-second field goal against the Rams. Yeah, they beat the Seahawks. What was the first year? They won back-to-back. Oh, the Eagles.
They won back-to-back?
Yeah, because they won 3 and 4 years. They won. The first one they got was
right.
the game-winning Vinatieri's field goal against the Rams.
Yeah.
The Eagles was the third one. Who was in between? Oh, was it the Panthers? They beat the Panthers.
Yes, with Jake Delhomme.
Yeah, Jake Delhomme.
Yeah.
Dude, that team was good.
One of those that he was in, they should have never been in, though. The fucking Tuck rule.
That was the first one. Yeah, they
That was
shouldn't
the
even have
first
been
one?
in. The
Yeah,
first
that
one they
was
had.
bullshit.
The Rams or the Raiders got fucked in that one. That
How
rule
about the
was
new?
bullshit.
You see the new catch rule they got now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The catch rule? That's big.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
they
ask
should.
you,
Do you
how do
see
you
the
feel about
bigger
that?
one though? Is the tackling.
That's stupid,
That one's
dude.
gonna be a huge change
People
to me.
can get fucking tossed for that.
Oh yeah.
So, tackling, we'll do that in 1 second. I just want to make sure I got it right. So the
Okay.
catch is you no longer have to maintain control to the ground, right?
If you don't all right. So if you hit the ground with control of the football and nobody touches you, but then the football comes out, it's a catch.
That's what they're changing.
I believe
now.
that's what it is, right?
Yeah, my understanding of it is just they're gonna let you like have more leeway with when you go to the ground,
Okay.
which they should. But
But it's funny though.
And
that
then-
the Super Bowl had like 3 of them.
And then what's up with the tackling one?
You
I didn't
can't
hear
lead
about
with your
that one.
helmet.
can't lead with your helmet anymore.
Oh, they changed that.
You
Yeah,
lead with
can't
your
lead to
helmet.
try and tackle him. It's a 15-yard penalty, and you can get ejected at some point. Like it's definitely going to be a 15-yard penalty.
And you think that's dumb?
It's gonna be a shit show.
It's going to change how everybody tackles. But like everybody leads with their head. It's really hard not to. So it's going to be it's going to change how you tackle. It's going to be. It's going to do that, but I don't like that it's a 15-yard penalty. That's a substantial penalty.
That's big.
Yeah, that's a
that's
huge
big
penalty.
fucking penalty.
Yeah, like I mean, I get you're trying to make the game safe for these concussions and whatever, but like that's
At the end of the day, this is
Yes.
how I look at it. You get somebody who doesn't know any football, okay,
Mhm.
doesn't watch football, or doesn't he watches but doesn't know.
yeah,
They turn it on to see people get fucking destroyed. You know what I mean?
right.
Yeah.
Your ratings are already down. Last year the ratings were down.
Yeah.
What? Like people are gonna turn on and be like, oh, I could just watch rugby instead and watch people.
Well, I
get
think it's
fucked
kind
up.
of a good thing. I think they want to make it a little safer.
Well, yeah,
especially with the
I see where
CTE
they're going.
stuff. Yeah.
I see where they're going, but like I just don't like 15 yards is.
I didn't even know.
I
about
just
that
think it's
one.
too excessive. I get it. That's how you cut it out. You make it a big penalty, whatever. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I just don't want to see something like that because you didn't tackle a guy, quote unquote, the right way. Like, and it wasn't like an egregious
Affect the
tackle.
game, yeah.
Right. That's not what I want to see. Like, impact how a game's
Yeah.
gonna end. So, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, but let's see. We've been
I
at
was gonna say, shout out
around.
to-
We've been on for what about I don't know an hour and a half now at least. So.
Yeah.
I guess we should try and wrap this one up then,
Yeah.
Say it's
Good.
all right. But, you know, it's great having you on, Tommy.
Yeah, it's a
Got any
pleasure.
parting words?
Yeah, anything,
Not really.
any words of wisdom?
Nothing crazy. Actually, shout out to Alex Canny. Did his
Oh,
first
yeah.
collegiate home run. I think it was yesterday.
Did he
I
really?
saw
Shout out
that.
to Alex Canny.
Saw
Yeah.
that.
Good
It
for
was
him.
His first Division I home run.
Good for him.
Yeah.
For him,
Yeah.
man.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna. I gotta text him later. But yeah, shout out to him.
Yeah, he
he's
seems
doing
like
good.
he's doing really well.
yeah.
Yeah.
Good for him, man.
Kid's good. Kid's good.
He is good. And he's a fucking. He works his fucking balls
I'll
off.
say it till the day I die, though. He ain't better than you, dog.
Hey,
He ain't better than you.
That's neither here
No,
nor
good
there.
for him though.
Kid's a
That's
good ball
awesome.
player, though.
No, you're right. It is
Work-
neither here nor
work
there.
hard
But
too. That's
Kid's a good ball player.
What's the
kid's
work
a hell of a ball player, man.
What's the work in?
In high school, I mean, we're getting out of here, but dude, the kid mashed in high school.
Yeah, he did.
Absolutely
I gotta
mashed
give
in high
it to him.
school.
I gotta give it to him. It was all great rides. I mean, fuck.
But
Yeah.
alrighty.
But I appreciate it though, guys. Thank
Yeah,
you.
hell yeah. We'll
Love
want to have
having
you
you
on
on,
in the
man.
future, and
Yeah.
there'll be plenty. Hopefully, in an ideal world, we'll have plenty more of these, and we'll definitely love to have you on again.
What are you
It's
talking
always-
about? We're going until we're dead. Until one of us dies,
have
we're gonna
episode
have
2
this
billion.
Episode infinity.
Yeah.
Episode
But-
infinity.
All right, guys. Episode 14. Tommy Prospero.
Yeet, yeet.